Douluo, summons from the two-dimensional world. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 76. Of course it was conquered. The chat on the stage has not ended yet, but the host's passionate speech has ended. Now, please invite people from both academies to come on stage. Everyone looked in the direction of the Dimension Academy. The audience wanted to see Dong Tang, but they also felt that other people could bring them other surprises, so they were very conflicted. Esdeath heard the host's words and quickly went on stage. This made the Blazing Academy stunned. According to general circumstances, whether it was hiding strength or anything else, Dong Tang should go. But now was not the time to hesitate, and Huosheng took the lead to go on stage. Originally, the Blazing Academy did not plan to win, but it absolutely could not be defeated by 7 out of 10, so the tactic was to start with the strongest one and start to consume Dong Tang. After all, in yesterday's game, ordinary soul masters had difficulty even making Dong Tang mobilize his soul power, but they didn't expect that it would be Esdeath who came up today. Both parties salute, the match officially begins. Following the host's announcement, Esdeath was in no hurry to attack, while Huosheng was looking at Yihan off the field with burning eyes. Just watch. My strength? A question mark slowly appeared on Yihan's head. Why are you looking at me like this? Can't you see that the one you're fighting against is Esdeath? It turns out that Huosheng deserves a beating. Yihan naively didn't think much about it, but Esdeath on the field noticed a clue and said with a playful smile, "Do you like Yihan?" As soon as these words came out, there was an exclamation from outside the field, and even the referee, who was about to remind them to hurry up with the match, was listening to the gossip attentively. Huosheng seemed to be right. His face flushed. I don't know what you are talking about." There was a sigh outside the venue, and Yihan's face darkened. Sure enough, he still deserves a beating. It seems that I have to put a black hood on him and beat him up someday. I was wondering why Huosheng's expression was so strange. So that's it. Kwang Sam teased. Yeah, I'm jealous of Ziohan's face. Others outside the venue didn't know Yihan, and Yihan didn't have much to explain, so everyone assumed that he was a girl, but it was different for those who knew, such as the Shrek people. No wonder. When we fought against Blazing Academy, Huosheng had such a high hatred value for me. Tang San now understood, but he expected Huosheng to definitely not know Yihan's gender. Third brother, this Huosheng has a strong taste. Ma Hongjin said with a smile. Ningrongrong said unhappily, you weren't much better when you first met Yihan. Esdeath in the field was a little dissatisfied when he heard Huosheng's words. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Who'll like you like this? Say you're like loudly. Huosheng on the opposite side was shocked, and Yihan outside the field shouted, damn it. That's right, I like Yihan, what do you think? Huosheng mustered up his courage and roared loudly. Captain, we are optimistic about you. The players of Blazing Academy said excitedly. Brother-in-law has backbone. Feng Ziotian was also moved by Huosheng, and was ready to wait until the Blazing Academy game was over and find Huo to confess again. Esdeath nodded with satisfaction, and then said seriously, very good, you have realized your heart. Next, let me tell you how to get your love. Huosheng heard this and looked at Esdeath excitedly. How to get it? Of course, it is to conquer him with absolute force and make him yours. Esdeath said as if it was a matter of course. Huosheng, who was originally excited, felt like a bolt from the blue. The audience around him was also stunned. Yihan couldn't help but yelled below, Esdeath, if you don't want to fight, come down. Esdeath smiled helplessly. It seems that Yihan is angry, so let's fight quickly. But Yihan is mine, how can I let you snatch him away? Circles of ice expanded outwards frantically with Esdeath as the center. Seeing this, Huosheng quickly possessed his martial spirit and bursts of flames burned on his body. No matter what, thank you for helping me understand my true heart, but I will definitely defeat you. Huosheng's soul power turned into a huge claw and rushed towards Esdeath. Esdeath showed an arrogant smile. Defeat me? Then try it. Putting his hands together, he pulled open a thin sword made of ice and it appeared in Esdeath's hand. The two quickly touched and then separated. It's useless. My fire restrains your ice. There is no way. Huosheng said very calmly. Esdeath looked at the melting sword in the middle of the ice, and smiled. You have the courage to melt my ice. A stronger icy aura than before raged throughout the venue. Ho Wuxiang, who was originally wrapped in flames, was frozen, and the flames in the ice continued to jump. But no matter how Ho Wuxiang urged his soul power, he felt that he was just a little short of breaking through the ice. This was actually because Esdeath kept inputting soul power into the ice regardless of consumption. You lost. To be honest, if you don't admit defeat, I will break the ice. But if you don't do this, you might lose your arms and legs. We admit defeat. Seeing Esdeath about to take action, Ho Wu was the first to speak. Seeing someone admit defeat, Esdeath no longer kept the ice frozen, and Ho Wuxiang quickly broke the ice, kneeling on the ground and gasping for breath. Hoan and Hoi quickly went up to the stage to help Ho Wuxiang down, and Ho Wu followed and started the second round of the battle directly. Facing Ho Wu, Esdeath's eyes flashed with ice blue. Ho Wu seemed to sense something and quickly mobilized her soul power, third soul skill, resist fire ring. Esdeath, who had just rushed forward, was repelled by a force, which also missed a good opportunity to attack. Taking advantage of this period of time, Ho Wu was also released from the ice. Feeling the stiffness around her, Ho Wu also felt a gap. She put her hands on her chest with her eyes carefully, and a powerful force merged into it frantically. Esdeath, who was about to attack, also stopped and showed an excited smile. What a good skill. I hope you won't let me down. Esdeath was waiting for Ho Wu's skill to be completed, so arrogant. You will pay the price for your arrogance. Ho Wu also had a frosty face at this moment. After all, Esdeath's behavior was no different from despising herself. Why doesn't this Esdeath move? According to her speed, it should be easy to interrupt. Emperor Ziyi naturally saw that Ho Wu's skills were not simple, but he also felt that it was strange for Esdeath to stand still. Ning Fengzi didn't know how to explain this situation, so he could only smile and say, maybe Esdeath has his own ideas. It's confidence in herself, confidence that she can beat Ho Wu. Chen Zhen, who had been silent, spoke this time, but only said this one sentence. The people of Blazing Academy also felt that Esdeath was a little arrogant and were ready to watch the show. At this moment, the original small fireball had turned into a huge fireball. Ho Wu opened her eyes and said, let me use this fusion ring to end you. Maybe we can't beat you, but at least I beat you. Esdeath felt such a huge power, standing confidently in place, not prepared to dodge at all, and the soul power on her body continued to riot. I have to say that you gave me a big surprise, and I also recognize you, so I will show you my strength. Esdeath said, and there were bursts of light shining around her. Fourth soul skill, General Biglin. As Esdeath performed the fourth soul skill, everyone saw an incredible scene. Many troops appeared behind Esdeath, and a large number of soldiers charged without fear of life and death. The army's momentum was unstoppable, and the general among them was Esdeath, who was confident, flamboyant, and powerful. The phantom disappeared in just a moment. Although there were not as many soldiers as the soldiers in the phantom, a large number of ice soldiers appeared, rushing towards Ho Wu's soul skills without fear of life and death. Layer by layer, they were consumed and blocked. Every time a soldier was destroyed, another soldier quickly filled in, as if they did not want Esdeath to be hurt at all. That's it. As Esdeath finished speaking, a large number of soldiers broke through Ho Wu's soul skills and placed the ice-long swords on Ho Wu's neck, who had already fallen to the ground. You lose. Looking at such a confident Esdeath, Ho Wu was not only stunned for a while, but also Esdeath did not retreat a step in the fusion soul skills just now. This was confidence in herself and affirmation of her soldiers. I lose. Ho Wu sighed and said a little decadently. As Ho Wu admitted defeat, the whole venue set off a huge cheer. Esdeath and Dongtang were two different shocks, the terrifying black flash and the spirit of commanding thousands of troops. This is also the reason why Esdeath was called a one-man army in the original world. The Snowy Knight Emperor on the high platform stared at Esdeath intently. If Tokisaki Kirumi can improve the survival rate of the army, then Esdeath is the god of the army. After all, Esdeath's soldiers are made of ice, and they can charge and kill the enemy regardless of life and death. It is not only the Snowy Knight Emperor who saw this scene. Gimei is also very troubled at this moment. The main reason why the Spirit Hall has not torn its face with the two empires is that although the Soul Masters are very strong, the empires have a large number of ordinary soldiers. The Spirit Hall is still clear about the fact that ants eat elephants. Gimmet does not think that the shadow behind Esdeath is fake. Maybe one day Esdeath can really do that. Chapter 77 Crushing. With Howu's surrender and Esdeath's undefeated attitude, the momentum of Blazing Academy seemed a little weak. Come on. What did I say at the beginning? We don't want to win, we don't want to be defeated by 7. Howusheng looked at the silence of his teammates and felt a little disappointed. Howu also came over at this time and said weakly, "That's right, and Esdeath's soul skill must consume a lot of soul power. She must have little soul power now, so we still have a chance." Howu's words made everyone's eyes light up. Thinking about the glorious situation just now, this soul skill must consume a lot of soul power. Thinking of this, Howu walked onto the stage in surprise. In fact, Esdeath's 4th soul skill, General Binglan, does consume a lot of soul power, but there are still more than a dozen soldiers who have not been destroyed in the field. Howu, who came on the field, felt the fluctuation of Esdeath's soul power and subconsciously jumped back. Then he saw a chair made of ice appear behind Esdeath. Esdeath sat down elegantly, and the remaining soldiers rushed towards Howu frantically. You look down on me." Howu looked at the soldiers rushing over and yelled angrily. Esdeath did not say anything about this, but just looked at Howu calmly. For Esdeath, she would not despise any opponent, but she needed these soldiers to delay and restore some of her soul power. Howu's martial spirit possessed her and rushed towards Esdeath, but was quickly stopped by the ice soldier. "Get out of the way." The angry Howu directly smashed a soldier. Just as he was about to rush over, the shattered soldier stretched out a hand to grab Howu's feet. Howu paused, and several soldiers surrounded Howu and began to attack. This siege also made everyone present understand more clearly the horror of the soldiers created by Esdeath. If they had attacked Howu's fusion ring before, these soldiers would have died. Then this siege showed another kind of fearlessness. As long as they were not shattered, whether it was hands, feet, or even mouths, these soldiers would attack without hesitation. If it were a real person, he might have died after being torn into pieces, but for these soldiers made of ice, the battle was not over yet. Under such a crazy offensive, Howu had never thought that even if he consumed a lot of physical strength and soul power, he could only completely destroy 5 soldiers. As the soldiers came up, Howu finally couldn't hold on and was declared a failure. Faced with such a situation, the confidence that had just been built up with great difficulty was now destroyed by Esdeath. As a soul master, he couldn't even solve the siege of the soldiers. Soon, as the Blazing Academy gave away their heads one by one, finally, with the efforts of the last contestant, all of Esdeath's soldiers were crushed. However, the overall situation was decided. Esdeath kicked the last hope of the Blazing Academy and slowly walked off the stage. It was also officially announced that the Blazing Academy was defeated by 1 against 7, just like the Thunder Academy at the beginning, and was crushed without any resistance. And as long as you are a soul master, you can see that there is an essential difference between the 1 against 7 of the Dimension Academy and the 1 against 7 of the Shrek Academy. Can you say that the Thunder Academy and the Blazing Academy are not strong? Yu Xiangsun's Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex Spirit and Howu's Fusion Ring, even if they couldn't win alone, at least they could fight for 1. But when facing the Dimension Academy, the players were different, but the result was the same. They crushed the opponent with absolute strength and won a 1-on-7 victory. This victory also made the Dimension Academy a thorn in the eyes of all the academies. Even the ghosts on the high platform were thinking about the golden generation of the Spirit Hall. Can they really beat these monsters? What a wonderful game! Emperor Ziyi said with some emotion. Ning Fengzi smiled faintly. Yes. The strength of the Dimension Academy is really strong. I don't know, Sect Master Ning, can you help me? I will definitely reward you handsomely later. Emperor Ziyi changed the subject. After saying this, everyone around subconsciously paid attention to what Emperor Ziyi said. Your Majesty, just say whatever you want. As long as I can do it, I will never refuse. Hearing this, Emperor Ziyi looked ecstatic. Okay. I feel relieved with what Sect Master Ning said. I hope you can invite Dimension Academy to join our Xiandao Empire. They can set whatever conditions they want. If not everyone is willing, so far, Esdeath and Takisuki Kurumi must be won over. I can even let Zhu King marry them and make them members of the royal family. Gui Mei originally thought that Emperor Ziyi could say something. He shook his head with some disdain and didn't pay attention. Ning Fengzi's originally smiling mouth twitched slightly, and he complained wildly in his heart, if I could invite them, Wouldn't I know how to invite them myself? It's easy to say. And marrying them is like giving alms, and others may not be willing. However, on the surface, the 7 treasures Glazed sect and the Xiandao Empire are on good terms, so they still have to give face. Your Majesty, the possibility of this is not very high. I invited several people from the Dimension Academy at the beginning, but they were all rejected. It was just Your Majesty's will. I can ask again, maybe there will be a turnaround. Ning Fengzi's words were beautiful, which made Emperor Ziyi very face-saving and gave him a shot of prevention. Sure enough, Emperor Ziyi said with satisfaction, Master Ning is thoughtful. In the eyes of Emperor Ziyi, the Dimension Academy is impossible to refuse. If it is given enough benefits, and the Xiandao Empire is one of the 3 major organizations in the world. The one-day schedule ended quickly, and the second day's competition was also posted. Everyone was looking for the Dimension Academy. Finally, seeing that it was the Botanical Academy against the Dimension Academy, the other academies were relieved, and only the people from the Botanical Academy looked very ugly. Today, Shrek Academy defeated 7-1. Will Dimension Academy defeat 7-1 again tomorrow? With this in mind, as the mentor of Botanical Academy, I asked the team members for their opinions and went directly to the referee team. Just admit defeat. As long as I don't fight you, it won't be considered a 7-1. And after 2 days of competition at Dimension Academy, it is reasonable for Botanical Academy to admit defeat. Compared with the situation at Dimension Academy, Shrek's opponent tomorrow is definitely a formidable enemy. Thunder Academy from the Single Attribute Academy. Don't think that Dimension Academy won, that's because the other party is strong. In the battle between the 2 academies, the strength of Thunder Academy should not be underestimated. Xiao-san, do you have any plans for tomorrow? The master said calmly. Tang San analyzed the Thunder Academy match in his head and said, our advantage is that we didn't fight with Thunder Academy during the team battle, so I think we can catch the opponent off guard. The master nodded with satisfaction. For tomorrow's game, I can give you some suggestions. Anyway, in order not to expose too much strength, you, Tailong, will definitely play, but there will be a gap in strength. So you need to remember a few things. If you can't beat them, don't fight hard, it's stupid. If you can't beat them, consume the opponent's physical strength and tempt them to release spirit skills to speed up the consumption of spirit power, laying the foundation for the next player to play. The master's tactics are very simple. It doesn't matter if you can't beat them, but you have to consume the opponent. In the lounge of the Dimension Academy on the other side, Ning Fengzi walked in with Prince Zuxing. This time, Emperor Ziyi has already told Zuxing that if this matter is done well, the matter of driving Tang San and others away last time will be forgiven, but if it is not done well, the new and old accounts will be settled together. Zuxing felt that this was a way out for her by her elder brother. After all, in Zuxing's opinion, the Dimension Academy would never refuse, so she patted her chest and said that she would leave it to him. Ning Fengzi, who was listening on the side, felt that Zuxing was a little pitiful. After all, he knew that today's matter could not be completed, and it might even annoy Yuhan and others. So it's Sect Master Ning and His Majesty Jian Douluo. I wonder who this is. Yuhan looked at the visitor, although he was a little confused, but still greeted him with a smile. Ning Fengzi still had a warm smile. This is the younger brother of the current emperor, Prince Zuxing, who is also the representative of the Xiandao Empire this time. I have something to ask you. Yuhan thought about it for a while and understood it, but still pretended to be confused. So it's Prince Zuxing. I have heard of you for a long time. I wonder what the reason for your visit this time. Faced with Yihan's respect, Zuxing was very pleased, and waved his hand casually. I'll be frank, I hope you can join our Xiandao Empire with the Dimension Academy. Yihan looked at Zuxing's attitude, his eyes narrowed slightly, with a hint of danger on his body, but his expression was still smiling. Zuxing found a place to sit down, looking high above him, and didn't feel Yihan's change at all, but Ning Fengzi and Jian Douluo naturally felt it keenly. It's a pity. Is this Zuxing an idiot? Ning Fengzi looked a little ugly, but he couldn't say anything. I'm sorry, we don't plan to join the Xiandao Empire for the time being. Yuhan said calmly. Zuxing frowned and said unhappily, I hope you can think clearly. As long as you join the Xiandao Empire, we can agree to most of the conditions. Yuhan shook his head. Thank you Prince Zuxing and Emperor Ziyi for your kindness, but we will not join the Xiandao Empire. This time Yuhan used an affirmative tone, and Ning Fengzi could feel that Yuhan was a little impatient with Zhu Xing's attitude. Facing Yuhan's refusal, Zhu Xing just wanted to get angry, but remembered what Emperor Zhu had told him when he came, that he couldn't have any disputes with him. Chapter 78 Tactics. Yuhan didn't want to see Zhu Xing anymore at this moment, or else he felt that if they continued talking, they would fight. Prince Zhu Xing, if there is nothing else, just leave. In that case, we will leave first. Facing Yuhan's order to expel him, Ning Fengzi wanted to take Zhu Xing away, but Zhu Xing obviously didn't have any brains at the moment. No hurry. If Sect Master Ning has something to do, you can go back first. I still have something to say. Zhu Xing looked at Ning Fengzi, who was about to take her away, and said a little unhappy. Ning Fengzi could only sigh helplessly. Some people wanted to die and he couldn't stop them. Prince Zhu Xing, is there anything else? Yuhan's voice was slightly cold, and his aura was no longer warm. However, Zhu Xing seemed to have no feeling at all, and said to himself, if the Dimension Academy does not want to join the Xiandao Empire, we will not force it. That's because you are not sensible. However, you cannot represent the attitude of other students. I just want to ask, Esdeath and Takisuki Kurumi, are you willing to join our Xiandao Empire? As long as you join, you will have training resources, spirit rings, spirit bones, and everything. His Majesty even said that you can marry into the prince's mansion and become a member of our Xiandao royal family. As Zhu Xing finished speaking, Yuhan's face was very cold, and there was no need to conceal the murderous intent on his body. Circles of halos appeared behind him, carrying waves of power. Ning Fengzi also knew that something was wrong after Zhu Xing finished speaking. Jian Douluo stood in front of the two, and the 9 spirit rings on his body kept flashing. For Yuhan, these companions from other worlds are definitely important, and even Esdeath and others were characters that he liked very much back then. Marry Zhu King? If Zhu King had not already become Jinring Su, Yuhan would have definitely castrated Zhu King with one sword. You, what are you going to do? Zhu Xing realized at this moment that something was wrong, and said with some stammering, if you kill me, my eldest brother will not let you go, and His Majesty will not let you go. Facing Zhu Xing's chattering, Yuhan said coldly, Sect Master Ning, Jian Douluo, are you sure you want to protect this waste? Ning Fengzi could only bite the bullet and stand up, but this time, please forgive me, little friend Yuhan, this time His Majesty got rid of us and brought Zhu Xing here. If we go back and Zhu Xing is not here, we will have a hard time explaining. Yuhan also knew that this was not the time to tear his face with the Xiandao Empire. Yuhan slowly put away his treasure, and said calmly but indifferently, Sect Master Ning, you'd better find another way out. The Xiandao Empire will be destroyed soon, and it will be destroyed cleanly. Yuhan's words made Ning Fengzi's pupils shrink. This was not the first time Yuhan had said such a thing. With the strange power of Yuhan and the Dimension Academy, there were some things Ning Fengzi had to believe. For example, Yuhan said that the 7 treasure glazed sect would be destroyed. At first, I didn't believe it, but now I am constantly preparing for it. But the 7 treasure glazed sect is just a sect after all, and the Xiandao Empire is an entire empire. How could it be destroyed? And according to Yuhan, it will be destroyed cleanly. Thank you, little friend Yuhan, for reminding us. We will take our leave first. Ning Fengzi turned around and left with a serious expression, while Jian Douluo pulled Zhu Xing, who was slumped on the ground, back. Soon the news spread back to the palace, and Zhu Xing kept scolding the Dimension Academy for not knowing how to respect him, but Ning Fengzi didn't indulge Zhu Xing. He told everything exactly as it happened. After listening to Ning Fengzi's explanation, Emperor Zhu Yi's face turned ashen. He really didn't expect his younger brother to be so stupid. I asked you to invite me, did you invite me? I think you have been pampered for too long, and you can't even tell who you are. From now on, you are no longer a prince, get out. Zhu Xing was a little unbelievable at Emperor Zhu Yi's order. If he was not a prince, who would care about him? Your Majesty, spare my life. Give me another chance, give me another chance. No matter how Zhu Xing shouted, Emperor Zhu Yi ignored him. I'm sorry to bother Sect Master Ning this time. Emperor Zhu Yi knew that there were titled Douluo in the Dimension Academy. Now that Zhu Xing was able to come out alive, Ning Fengzi must have made an indelible contribution. Your Majesty, you are too kind, but we should not rush to recruit Yuhan and others. It is better to wait and make plans after the high-level Soul Master competition is over. Ning Fengzi's words made Emperor Zhu Yi think for a while, and he nodded in agreement. It is indeed not necessary to rush. The next day. At this moment, there was no Prince Zuxing on the high platform, but no one paid attention to him. Prince Zuxing had offended many people. In the past, they were afraid of him because he was the younger brother of His Majesty, so they gave him some face. Now even the prince has been dismissed, and these nobles will not let Zuxing go. The next game is between Shrek Academy and Thunder Academy. I have to mention here that Shrek Academy also has the strength of 1 against 7, but Thunder Academy is much stronger than Botanical Academy. I wonder what kind of exciting game they will give us today. Although Thunder Academy lost to Dimension Academy, its popularity remained unchanged, and even increased. On the other side, Shrek Academy also attracted many fans because of its performance in the previous preliminaries. I have observed for a while, and the other favorite of Master Ning should be Shrek Academy. Emperor Zi asked with a smile. Ning Fengzi did not deny it. Your Majesty has a good eye for talent, and my daughter is also in Shrek Academy. When Ning Fengzi said this, Emperor Zi was a little surprised. As far as he knew, Ning Fengzi had only one daughter, who was deeply loved by Bone Douluo and Sword Douluo. Since such a precious daughter has joined Shrek Academy, Emperor Zi has to pay attention to Shrek Academy. As the two chatted, the game had already begun. The first player to play in Shrek was Tai Long. Thunder Academy still implemented its own plan, with a lower soul power level going first, trying to consume the opponent's strength, and finally relying on Yu Xiangxin, Lei Tian and Lei Dong to win the game. As soon as the two sides came on the court, Tai Long took the lead in attacking. As a pure power soul master, Tai Long's shortcoming was obviously not fast enough, but the corresponding ability to resist attacks was naturally not weak. He withstood the opponent's round after round of attacks, exhausted the opponent's soul power and won the final victory. At the beginning of the second game, Tai Long changed his previous reckless spirit and began to dodge. The students of Thunder Academy who thought that Tai Long would fight him hard were annoyed. Under the continuous release of soul skills, he did not feel that his soul power was constantly being consumed. Finally, Tai Long felt that he could not bear it anymore and chose the final charge. Unexpectedly, there was a surprise this time. A 1-for-1 exchange was made, and the opponent was also eliminated. This time, Tai Long could be regarded as having exceeded his task. Shrek Academy and Thunder Academy sent out new players at the same time. Shrek's side was Jingling, a spirit master of the agility attack system. As a spirit master of the agility attack system, Jingling brought his characteristics to the fullest. With speed and continuous consumption, he finally successfully eliminated the contestants of Thunder Academy, and then continued to consume the fourth student from the previous time. However, this time he did not successfully exchange 1-for-1 like Tai Long, but it also laid the hope of victory for Wang Yuan, who came on the field later. After Wang Yuan defeated the last supporting role of Thunder Academy, Shrek Academy had to face the three giants of Thunder Academy, which was also the last tough battle. To be honest, the competition mode of Shrek Academy was somewhat boring, which made everyone drowsy. Master Ning, this Shrek Academy does not seem to be as strong as imagined. Emperor Zi asked with some doubts. Ning Fengzi smiled and explained, this is a tactic. You should have discovered it. The three players on the field now all adopted the same tactic. If they can beat them, they will fight. If they can't beat them, they will consume their opponent's physical strength, soul power, and even mentality. This will give the next player a chance to win. And Your Majesty, haven't you noticed that none of the so-called Shrek 7 devils have played yet? But Thunder Academy has eliminated 4 of them. This is success. Emperor Zuyi also suddenly realized that Tang San and others, the core figures of Shrek Academy, had not played yet, but Thunder Academy had eliminated 4 of them. Thunder Academy obviously discovered Shrek Academy's tactics. Lei Tian, who played, did not hesitate and directly launched a range attack to defeat Wang Yuan. So far, Shrek Academy has finally put Xiao Wu, one of the real core players, on the field. As a flying soul master, Lei Tian naturally wanted to maximize his advantages. He took off at the first opportunity and directly used his 4th soul skill to try to eliminate Xiao Wu at the first opportunity. Unfortunately, although Xiao Wu is a strong attack type, her soul skills do not have the shadow of the strong attack type, and even tend to be more sensitive attack type. The 3rd soul skill teleported directly to Lei Tian's side. Lei Tian, who was about to take action, was directly charmed by Xiao Wu's 2nd soul skill, which gave Xiao Wu the upper hand. Xiao Wu was not polite and directly defeated Lei Tian with an 8-stage throw to win the game. The Shrek Academy and Thunder Academy also started from this game. The remaining 2 people from Thunder Academy also became very solemn. Shrek Academy still had 3 people who had not played. With Lei Tian being eliminated, there was only 1 person left on their side, and the situation was not very optimistic. Chapter 79 We Have a Chance. After Lei Tian left the stage, Lei Dong, the vice captain, came on stage again. Perhaps because of the failure in the battle against Dong Tang, Lei Dong is now very cautious. He used his 3rd soul skill, Thunder Net, and then his 4th soul skill, Locking God Ring. This combination of skills did not give Xiao Wu any chance to resist. Xiao Wu did not expect Lei Dong to consume a lot of soul power just to eliminate her. But in a sense, Xiao Wu also completed the task of consuming the opponent. Oh, it seems that Thunder Academy lost. Yi looked at Xiao Wu who flew backwards and smiled playfully. After Yi said this, everyone except Yi Han was stunned. It seems that Xiao Han said last time that Tang San has a passive skill. Do people from Shrek Academy know this passive skill? Yi Han's mouth twitched slightly. Although it sounds very mysterious, Xiao Wu's injury is equivalent to Tang San's explosion, which is completely reasonable. Let's see first. But what I care about is not Tang San's explosion, but Dime Yubei's battle with Yu Xiangxin. Compared with Tang San, Yi Han wanted to see how Dime Yubei, who didn't have the strange chrysanthemum, would fight Yu Xiangxin. After all, when fighting against a blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex, the most important thing to solve is the paralysis characteristic. In the original work, Dime Yubei had the characteristic of being immune to the strange chrysanthemum, but now he doesn't. However, the first person Dime Yubei wanted to defeat was Lei Dong. When Tang San came on the court, he gave Dime Yubei a very obscure look, and Dime Yubei understood it immediately. Lei Dong still used the familiar routine and directly released a locking God ring, but Dime Yubei didn't care about these controls at all, and directly used the strength of the martial soul to tear the locking God ring. In just a moment, Lei Dong saw the shadow of Dong Tang, but Dime Yubei didn't hold back. This punch hit him and Lei Dong was directly seriously injured. At this time, the people from the Thunder Academy also got angry. As the captain, Yu Xiangxin's face was definitely not good, not to mention other things. With Lei Dong eliminated, Yu Xiangxin will naturally go on the field, and he is very angry. You will pay the price for what you did, Yu Xiangxin said coldly. Dime Yubei excitedly urged his soul power. Can you do it? Looking for death? Yu Xiangxin, the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex directly possessed him and rushed towards Dime Yubei. As soon as the two came into contact, Dime Yubei felt a paralysis effect that was many times stronger than Lei Dong before. First soul skill, White Tiger Body Shield. Although the two were separated at the first touch, Dime Yubei clearly felt that his movements were somewhat slow, and he used his soul power without hesitation to offset this effect. Yu Xiangxin naturally would not sit and wait for death, or he was very angry now. Fourth soul skill, Blue Lightning Dragon Speed. The Blue Lightning Dragon wrapped around Yu Xiangxin, and Dime Yubei, who was in close combat, had to distance himself again. At this moment, Dime Yubei could be said to be as frustrated as he wanted to be. HMPH. That's your strength? Yu Xiangxin quickly used the Wrath of Thunder, and her speed increased instantly. Dime Yubei, who was close to her, instantly felt that his hands and feet were not obedient. Then everyone saw a very brutal scene. Yu Xiangxin punched hard, and it can be said that she was not polite. At the beginning, they were evenly matched, but now they were being beaten. Tang San, who was off the court, did not hesitate to see this, and directly said to the referee, "We admit defeat in this game." The referee saw this and quickly announced that Yu Xiangxin won. Hearing the referee's words, Yu Xiangxin stopped attacking, and Dime Yubei fell to the ground with blood all over his face. Tang San quickly took Jiangsu and Ma Hongjin to the stage, and then asked Jiangsu to treat her. Ma Hongjin helped Dime Yubei off the stage, and he stayed on the competition stage. Tang San's face was not very good at the moment. He asked Dime Yubei to be ruthless to Lei Dong because the other party caused Xiao Wu to suffer serious injuries. But he didn't expect that Dime Yubei would also be beaten up because of this. Tang San felt that he had to solve this matter now. Yu Xiangxin felt very relaxed at the moment. To be honest, after losing to Dong Tang, Yu Xiangxin had been holding back a lot of anger. The teams he met afterwards were too weak. In fact, Yu Xiangxin had been looking forward to meeting the Elephant Armor Academy. After all, they had high defense and were resistant to attacks. Unexpectedly, he did not meet the Elephant Armor Academy, but met the Shrek Academy. Originally, it was nothing. He did not expect that the opponent would be so ruthless and intentional. Yu Xiangxin had found a place to vent his anger. Moreover, Daimyubei was also a top-level beast martial spirit and was very resistant to attacks. After venting his anger, Yu Xiangxin understood the current situation. Even if he defeated Tang San in front of him, what would happen? The opponent still had one person. Moreover, Tang San was the core figure of Shrek Academy. He was not weak in strength and was a controlled type spirit master. He was a natural enemy of a strong attack type spirit master like him. Thinking of this, Yu Xiangxin stretched out his hand and said, "I admit defeat." After Yu Xiangxin finished speaking, Tang San was the most upset. He was ready to give Yu Xiangxin a good beating, but Yu Xiangxin admitted defeat and walked off the stage very coolly. The audience and referees were stunned. They didn't expect such a wonderful game to end so poorly. Yuhan laughed. After all, Tang San's expression was not good at the moment. If Tang San hadn't traveled from ancient times, he would have been cursing now. Although he won, he didn't know why he felt so aggrieved. This feeling was not only felt by Tang San, but also by the entire Shrek Academy. Why did you hit someone and then leave so casually? The game did not stop because of the situation of both sides, but was carried out in full swing. Just when the host mentioned the Dimension Academy, Yihan and others knew that the Botanical Academy had given up. There was nothing they could do about it. Yihan and others could only wait for today's announcement. It's really boring. Surrendering without a fight is a shame. Esdeath said seriously. That's right, we haven't played yet. If all the people behind are complete, then there will be no chance to play again. Leah also asked a little depressed. Yihan was somewhat helpless about this. After all, it was the right of others to give up. There should still be a chance. I looked at the remaining colleges. Xianshu College, Xiangjia College, Shenfang College and Shrek College should not give up. Yihan was still confident about these colleges. After all, they all had a strong role in the original work. That's good. Otherwise it would be too boring. Yu was also a little excited. It's out, who is fighting against the Dimension College? Look for it quickly, don't look for it from our college. Soon everyone saw the name of the Dimension College in the middle of the bulletin board, and the Dimension College was fighting against the Xianshu College. Seeing this result, the people from the Xianshu College left with a solemn look. Sister, something happened. We won't be defeated by 1-7 when we play against the Dimension College. Shui Yuir asked in a panic. Compared with Shui Yuir's panic, Shui Binger, as the captain, was much calmer, or it could be said that Shui Binger's personality would not fluctuate too much due to the influence of her martial spirit. Don't panic, we still have a chance. The other team members were not very confident about Shui Binger's words. After all, there were only 2 people from the Dimension Academy in the entire promotion match, and these 2 people won the victory with absolute overwhelming strength. Captain, you don't have to comfort us, I just don't know who they will play tomorrow. Zhu sighed helplessly. Although she also believed in her captain, the Dimension Academy gave people the feeling of being invincible. Shui Binger saw that the team's morale was in question, and said seriously, what I said is not without basis. After analyzing the 2 games, our opponents will be among Altria Pendragon, Yihan, Hanzhou Kid, Shifengin and Yoruichi and Takisaki Kurumi. Shui Yuir interrupted with some confusion when she heard this. That's impossible. Audi Taodao and Esdeath won't play. Although I don't know how the Dimension Academy arranges the players, but as it stands now, those who have played will not play again, especially the game between Esdeath and Blazing Academy. Obviously, fire restrains ice, but Esdeath still played. It can be seen that the Dimension Academy seems to have not considered any tactics at all. Zhu said in despair, Captain, your words make us even more desperate. Others just did a 1-7 just for fun. Shui Binger sighed, although I don't want to admit it, it seems to be like this at the moment, but we have a good chance of not being defeated by 1-7. Among the remaining people, Takisaki Kurumi of the Auxiliary Department will definitely not play, so Altria of the Strong Attack Department and Hanzhou Kid of the Defense Department are not a big threat to me. Only Yoruichi Shifengin of the Agile Attack Department and their captain Yihan are threatening, but we must at least ensure that we are not defeated by 1-7. After Shui Binger said this, everyone felt very hopeful. You know, now the Blazing Academy and Thunder Academy, which are both single attribute academies, have been defeated by 1 through 7. As long as Shianshu Academy does not lose to 1 through 7, it will be a huge victory. Chapter 80, Brutal Destruction. Not only Shianshu College, but Dimension College also received the news that they were going to play against their opponents. When Yihan saw the name of Shianshu College, his face was still quite strange. After all, it was a college with all water and ice attributes, and it only accepted girls. Come on. Draw lots, draw lots. As soon as Yihan returned to the hotel where he was resting, he took out a bamboo stick in his hand. Don't we usually draw lots before the start? Why are you so active today? Yi asked with a smile while taking a bamboo stick. Yihan couldn't say that he didn't want to play against Shianshu College. After all, they were all girls, so it was better to let girls fight girls without psychological burden. Nothing, I just feel that drawing lots before every game is too hasty. Why not decide now? That's right. Leah didn't think much about it, and also took a bamboo stick and left. As Leah took the bamboo stick away, Yihan was confused. Is this Murphy's Law? The more you don't want something to happen, the more likely it is to happen. Since it's Zion. What bad luck. Leah said with some regret. Yihan's eyes lit up. How about we switch, you play in the next game. Although Leah was a little confused, she still chose to accept Yihan's kindness. Okay. No. Before Yihan could be surprised, Yi on the side directly refused. Zio-han, are you hiding something from us? Otherwise, why don't you want to play against Shianshu College? After Yi said this, Leah also discovered that Yihan was abnormal today. Zio-han, it's not enough to have us beauties, and you don't even let go of the girls from Shianshu College. Tang San showed a dangerous smile. Yihan also felt the unfriendly eyes of several people after Tang San finished speaking. Ahem, Shianshu College is full of girls, so I don't think it's a good idea for me to do it. Yihan explained helplessly. However, the explanation at this moment seemed to be connected with what Tang San said. Oh? Really? Why don't you want to? It's not like we haven't met girls before. Could it be that Yi really said it? Esdeath said, and the temperature around her began to drop. Yihan felt cold sweat on his back at this moment. I'll play tomorrow, isn't that okay? Brother Han, you don't seem to be very willing, why don't you just forget it? After hearing what Ben Tiaofeng said, Yihan cried out in his heart, this knife was too cruel. What's the reluctance? I'm very willing. Tomorrow I'll show you what it means to be cruel and destroy flowers. Yihan corrected his attitude very seriously. Facing Yihan's attitude, everyone was quite satisfied. Since you said so, you have to let him go tomorrow. Yihan nodded frantically. If he didn't nod at this time, he would probably have gone out of the door. He who knows the current situation is a hero. The next morning, Yihan's game was scheduled for the first game. The audience was already sitting outside the stadium before the game started. At this moment, every game of the Dimension Academy touched everyone's heart. With the appearance of Yihan and others, the scene became a sensation again. Come on, Yihan, I will always support you. At the viewing point of the Blazing Academy below, Ho Washuang held a huge banner. That's right, brother-in-law, you can show your sincerity like this. Yihan will definitely like it. Feng Ziaoshan nodded with satisfaction. As soon as he turned around, Ho Wu punched him. I was wondering what you two were doing secretly yesterday. It turned out that you were doing this kind of thing. Put it away, it's too embarrassing. No, I want Yihan to see my feelings. Ziaoshan said that only persistence can produce results. Ho Washuang said stubbornly. Ho Wu was really screwed at this moment. When did you believe the nonsense Feng Ziaoshan said, and have you two become so close? Don't be angry, Ho Wu, I have discussed it with my brother-in-law. I will help him to pursue Yihan, and he will help me to pursue you. Feng Ziaoshan said with a smug look on his face. Ho Wu. At first glance, there is nothing wrong, but this cannot be savored carefully. Once savored carefully, Ho Wu is like killing the two idiots in front of her. Yihan, who was passing by, naturally saw the banner. He originally thought it was put up by fans, but it turned out to be Ho Washuang, the dead gay. Yihan said he couldn't afford to offend him, and walked forward quickly with his head down. Well, everyone knows today's game better than me. I just received news that the first person to appear in the Dimension Academy is their captain, Yihan. In the previous games, Whether it was the team competition or the individual competition, Yi Han's strength was a mystery, and the number of times he took action was very few. But as the captain, he will naturally not let us down. The host's words instantly ignited the entire arena. After all, sometimes mystery is the most attractive. However, this made the faces of Xianshu Academy sank. One of the two people they least wanted to meet was Yi Han, not to mention that Yi Han could become the captain of these monsters, so his strength was naturally beyond doubt. We will follow the formation of Thunder Academy, and then use the tactics of Shrek Academy. If we can't beat him, we will drag it out and consume his physical strength and soul power. Don't we believe that we can't beat one of the 7 rounds? Shui Binger said fiercely. The others nodded, and they also felt that their captain was right. It would be too embarrassing if they were defeated by 1 against 7 again in a 1-on-7 round-robin match. Ning Fengzi and others on the high platform also watched the game very seriously. After all, others didn't know, but they knew that Yi Han was the one who killed a title Douluo. Salas, go check what's special about Xianshu College, since Yi Han is the one attending. Gimmet used soul power to transmit a message to Saras on the side. Ning Fengzi on the side was also a little confused. Uncle Gu, Uncle Jian, send someone to check the situation of Xianshu College. If Yi Han knew what these people were thinking, he would definitely tell them directly that there was nothing special about it, and that he simply lost by drawing lots. After saying so much, I won't waste my words. Please invite the first contestant of both sides to play. As the host finished speaking, a girl with ice blue hair came up from Xianshu College. Yi Han also raised his foot very elegantly, and walked to the middle of the ring slowly. The two faced each other. Hello, my name is Chirushu. Please be gentle later. Chirushu can be said to be very polite, but Yi Han completely ignored her and sat back in front of everyone's confused faces. A golden chair appeared behind her very cooperatively. This situation made Chirushu look very ugly. She didn't expect Yi Han to be so indifferent and arrogant, and even found a chair to sit down. This is not because Yi Han is arrogant, but because a lot of unequal treaties were signed last night, including that he must be arrogant when he goes on stage today, and he can't smile or talk to the other girl. Yi Han weighed the pros and cons and felt that Tang San and others were more attractive, so the current Yi Han showed such a special situation. What's more, Yi Han's face does not give people the feeling of arrogance, but nobleness and disdain. The host was also stunned for a moment, then wiped the sweat from his forehead. Both sides start the game. Why are you pretending? I don't believe you won't get off that broken chair. Chirushu directly unfolded his martial spirit, and a stream of water rushed towards Yi Han, which could be said to be not polite at all. If Yi Han didn't dodge, he would not only be attacked, but his clothes would probably be soaked, which would be very difficult at that time. If Yi Han dodged and left the chair, what was the point of pretending before? Ho Washuang outside the field, for some reason, suddenly had some expectations, or it was not just Ho Washuang. Anyone who is obsessed with Yi Han's beauty seemed to hope that this stream of water would hide him. However, for this little trick, Yi Han only had a golden halo in front of him, and a shield perfectly blocked the water flow, without splashing Yi Han at all. The water flow disappeared, Yi Han's shield also disappeared, and a halo appeared, surrounding Chirushu. Chirushu moved quickly, wanting to leave the halo, but just as she was about to move, a golden chain instantly tied Chirushu. Being caught all at once, the other chains naturally couldn't escape. The heavens chains bound Chirushu fiercely, and the surroundings were fixed very tightly. No matter Chirushu's soul skills or soul power, they could not move. The halo around slowly appeared with treasures. Yi Han didn't speak either, but the pressure at this moment can be said to be very huge. Sitting motionless on the chair, Chirushu was caught like a chicken and couldn't move. As the treasures got closer and closer, Chirushu struggled in vain and could only shout loudly, "I give up. Let me go." As the referee announced that Chirushu was eliminated, Yi Han put away the king's treasure, and the treasure slowly disappeared. During this period, Yi Han really didn't say a word, and his expression was very calm. It is often like this, which brings a very uncomfortable feeling to the next person on the stage of Xianshu College. Obviously, the other party is so arrogant, but no one can do anything about it. This is definitely a devastating blow to confidence. Compared with the despair of Xianshu College, the people of Dimension College nodded with satisfaction. Chapter 81. Are you having a problem with this chair? Chirushu's performance was not satisfactory. Yi Han had been sitting on the chair without moving. There was no such thing as consuming physical strength. Although he used something like a martial soul, the game was basically over in an instant. In the eyes of outsiders, Johan did not even use his soul skills, so what soul power could he consume? Don't be discouraged, everyone, come on. At least knock the chair that this arrogant guy is sitting on away. Shui Yuir cheered up the sisters who were going to play next. Shui Binger supported her forward helplessly. Why did she lower her requirements so much after the first game? Isn't the most important thing to avoid being outnumbered? But Shui Yuir's words still worked. Next game, Shen Liuyu vs. Johan. Shen Liuyu, who played this time, did not show any kindness to Johan. He attacked directly at Johan's chair. That's right, Johan could clearly feel that this attack would not hide him even if he did not move, but his chair would be in trouble. For the safety of his chair, Johan still blocked Shen Liuyu's attack. Tisk. Seeing that his attack was ineffective, Shen Liuyu was obviously unhappy, but Shen Liuyu had completely ignored his own consumption. Johan could only express his speechlessness and quickly activated the Heaven's Lock to get rid of Shen Liuyu. As the people from Shinshu College came on stage one by one, Johan understood that these guys' goal must be his chair. He was also confused, is there something special about this chair? But he quickly gave up this idea. It was just an ordinary chair, what was special about it? In the next game, Shui Yuir will play against Johan. Shui Yuir is already one of the last 3 players from Shinshu College. As the captain of the Dimension College, is she going to complete a 1-on-7 situation? But it's not hard to accept it if you think about it. My own players can do it, and as a captain, my strength should be even stronger. Following the host's words, Shui Yuir also quickly went on stage. Unlike other people who attacked as soon as they came on stage, Shui Yuir curiously looked left and right at Johan. Johan believed that everyone should have a chance to show off. He waited for the opponent to finish the attack before he dealt with the opponent. This was one of the few gentleness of Johan. But Shui Yuir in front of him didn't attack, just kept looking, and no one knew what she was looking at. Hey, miss, I'm not asking you to let me do anything, can you please stand up from the chair and let me smash the chair? Don't worry, I'll pay for the chair. Listening to Shui Yuir's innocent words, Johan slowly asked, you're not done with this chair, are you? And you can't even tell the gender, so don't call someone a little sister without authorization. Johan wanted to explain, but he promised himself not to speak, so he could only shake his head expressionlessly. Faced with Johan's coldness, Shui Yuir was also discouraged. Really, as long as you let me smash the chair, I will admit defeat directly, how about it? Shui Yuir walked around Johan, hoping to get Johan's answer, but Johan was not interested today. You want to smash my chair, I won't let you smash it today. Seeing Johan indifferent, Shui Yuir even doubted whether Johan would speak, and kept slandering Johan in her heart, is this Johan a mute? Shui Yuir circled Johan again, and kept talking to Johan, but this time, Shui Yuir went around to the back and attacked Johan's chair directly. Johan, who was alert, secretly explored Shui Yuir's childishness in his heart, opened the king's treasure to block the attack, and shot out the heaven's chain again. The opponent had already started, and Johan didn't need to hold back. However, this time the heaven's chain, which was invincible, was frozen by the ice. Although the shield behind him blocked the attack, the ice was spreading. This situation is like a flame encountering a combustible material, which keeps burning. Shui Yuir's ice is also the same. Faced with such a situation, the best solution is to stand up and leave. But Johan, who has made up his mind to keep his chair, urged his soul power, and golden halos opened one after another, and a large number of treasures flew out. Shui Yuir, who had some advantages at first, was suddenly in a panic, dodging Johan's attacks everywhere. Bang! A treasure next to Shui Yuir suddenly exploded and directly knocked Shui Yuir away. Compared with the last time he attacked Tang San, Johan had already suppressed the soul power of the treasure to detonate, and the power was not as strong as last time, but even so, Shui Yuir was still injured. The spreading ice was also directly blown apart, and Johan slowly turned the chair around with a cold look, and the treasures around him trembled slightly. Shui Yuir looked at the treasures around her, and she immediately understood that Johan was going to detonate these treasures. This was too much. In the center of the explosion, she would be finished if she was not careful. Wait. Shui Yuir waved her hands and wanted to say something, but Johan was very plain and unpretentious. If you don't surrender, what am I waiting for you? Seeing Yihan indifferent, Shui Yuir knew that her delaying tactics were useless, and pouted, I surrender, okay. How annoying. Seeing Shui Yuir surrender, Yihan's treasure slowly disappeared. Compared with the dullness of the competition, the people outside the field were a little uneasy. After the first contestant Xu Rushu, the purpose of Xianshu Academy was obvious, and anyone who is not blind knew it. It was just to make Yihan leave the chair he was sitting on, but even such a small wish has not been successful until now. Third Master, this Yihan is too generous. These weapons, I know they are definitely top-notch without even looking at them. This Yihan can blow them up at will, it's outrageous. As a member of the Power Clan, Tailong was originally inseparable from forging. In addition, his grandfather was Titan, one of the 3 great craftsmen. Under the influence of his ears and eyes, his eyesight was naturally not bad. Tang San had seen Yihan's generosity a long time ago, and now he blew it up. When Yihan blew him up, the number and power were not this high. We don't know about this either, but since we met Yihan, he has a lot of these weapons. But it seems like they can't be used up. Ma Hongjin was also a little confused about this. Tang San also thought about this, and shook his head helplessly. Maybe Yihan's spirit can make this kind of weapon. Compared to Tang San, who knew a little about Yihan's spirit, the rest of the people who didn't know Yihan's spirit were now thinking about what Yihan's spirit was. Brother, did you see it? Yihan's strength as a captain is unquestionable, you should give up. Hou was brainwashing her brother on the side. She really didn't want her brother to get too deeply involved. The more she understood Yihan, the more Hou knew that her brother had no chance. It was not a question of whether he was worthy or not, but it seemed that Yihan would definitely become a titled Douluo as long as he didn't die. What about Hou Wuxiang? It would be good if he could become a soul Douluo in the end. No, I will definitely work hard. As long as I persist, I will succeed sooner or later. Hou Wuxiang waved the banner in his hand with a determined face. Yihan, come on. That's it. Feng Xiaoshan expressed his support for Hou Wuxiang. Hou Wu's face turned black, and she pulled the banner in Hou Wuxiang's hand and smashed it hard on the ground. I beg you to be a human being. Do you think people will pay attention to you? You are like a licking dog now. However, Hou Wuxiang completely ignored Hou Wu's words, picked up the banner on the ground, checked it, and put it up again. Yihan, come on. It's hopeless, it's completely hopeless, otherwise, let's try Yihan. Hou Wu knew that her brother had gone crazy, and now he couldn't listen to anything he said. But letting Yihan reject his brother might be a good idea. On the other side of the high platform, Ning Fengzi also sighed slightly. It's worthy of being little friend Yihan, your strength is still so unfathomable. Sword Douluo Chengxin has been staring at Yihan's skylock and observing. After observing for such a long time, Sword Douluo Chengxin finally confirmed one thing. Yihan may have the inheritance of God. That chain is not simple. Chen Xin naturally would not say it openly, and the sound transmission method entered Ning Fengzi's ears. Ning Fengzi's face did not change, but the hand holding the scepter in his right hand subconsciously tightened, which also reflected the unrest in Ning Fengzi's heart at the moment. Yihan's words rang in Ning Fengzi's ears again, and the more Ning Fengzi thought about it, the more he felt that something was going to happen. This feeling is like suddenly one day, you are sick, and the doctor tells you that you can lie for at most 2 months. This situation is the most uncomfortable. You can't do anything and can only wait to die. From Yihan killing the title Douluo to now that Yihan may have the inheritance of God, it seems that everything is reminding Ning Fengzi intentionally or unintentionally that the 7 treasures Glazed sect will be destroyed. But not all things are bad. Ning Fengzi remembers that Yihan said that he could evolve the 7 treasures Glazed Tower into the 9 treasures Glazed Tower. Things that have been searched all over the continent without results may really need the help of God to have a glimmer of hope. There's no need to make this public. Ning Fengzi sent a message back, giving the matter a final conclusion. The 7 treasures Glazed Tile sect could no longer afford to offend Yihan. Not to mention the 2 titled Douluo from the Dimension Academy, even Yihan himself could kill one. Not to mention that Yihan had promised that if the 7 treasures Glazed Tile sect was destroyed, it would belong to him. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82 An Alternative Victory. Shui Yuir walked down from the stage in a depressed mood. She was a little frustrated. It's okay, Zuwu, just do your best later. Anyway, the Thunder Academy and Blazing Academy have been defeated by 1-7. One more of us won't make a difference, and one less of us won't make a difference. Schwabinger had given up. Yi Han's strength made her see no hope. Humph. This guy looks good, but he's really annoying. And does he have eyes behind his back? I can't hit the broken chair even though I'm doing this. Shui Yuir's focus was still on the chair. Zhu Wu also knew what was going on and walked onto the stage slowly. Zhu Wu vs. Yi Han. As the host began, neither of them took action. Yi Han supported his face with his left hand, put his left arm on the handle of the chair, and observed Zhu Wu casually. In the original work, Zhu Wu and Schwabinger performed martial arts fusion skills, but later the author changed the setting to Schwabinger and Shui Yuir. Excuse me. Zhu Wu's personality was quite straightforward. After saying a few words, she rushed towards Yi Han. This also surprised Yi Han. In the entire Xianshu Academy, only Zhu Wu chose to attack at close range. The others, like the mage, chose to attack from a distance. Facing Zhu Wu, who was getting closer and closer, the Heaven's Chain appeared again, trying to stop Zhu Wu's attack. Zhu Wu, who had been observing for a long time, naturally knew Yi Han's Heaven's Chain. The soul ring on her body lit up. The Heaven's Chain approaching Zhu Wu seemed to be affected by the ice, and its attack speed was reduced. This caused Zhu Wu to quickly break through the defense line of the Heaven's Chain and come to Yi Han. At this moment, not only the people of Xianshu Academy were excited, but also the audience. Is Zhu Wu going to let Yi Han stand up from his chair? What an exciting match! The host shouted excitedly. Facing Zhu Wu's fist, Yi Han clearly felt the chill on Zhu Wu's body. He sat still and grabbed Zhu Wu's fist with his right hand. Seeing this, Zhu Wu was about to raise her left foot to kick Yi Han, but a halo appeared on Yi Han's left-hand side, and a shield blocked Zhu Wu's kick. Seeing this, Zhu Wu did not hesitate, quickly adjusted her body, pulled back her right hand and prepared for the next round of attack. However, since Yi Han had made up his mind not to stand up and hold on to his chair, he would not sit still and wait for death. A large number of halos appeared again. However, it was obvious that Zhu Wu was much stronger than Shui Yuir, who had no combat experience. At least she was very methodical in dodging, and the distance between the two was relatively close, so Zhu Wu attacked Yi Han again. Seeing this, Yi Han also keenly felt Zhu Wu's shortcomings, and a huge halo appeared on the ground. For safety reasons, Zhu Wu directly gave up the advantage of close combat, quickly withdrew from the position of the halo, and watched vigilantly what would appear in the halo. Soon a huge spaceship appeared in the halo, carrying Yi Han slowly into the air. The hugeness and splendor of Vimana brought a great shock to the people around. Zhu Wu naturally looked at the behemoth in the sky and swallowed subconsciously. However, Yi Han's purpose of summoning Vimana was very simple. As a bowman, although he could fight in close combat, it was not necessary. At this time, he had to play the absolute advantage of the bowman. A large number of halos were directed at Zhu Wu below. The number was astonishing. Third Master. What kind of martial spirit is this, Yi Han? Such weapons have been fired for more than 100 times. Tai Long swallowed his saliva. The scene in front of him was too shocking. The people of Shrek were also surprised and speechless. Seeing this, Zhu Wu knew that she could not hit Yi Han in the air, so she could only face endless attacks. Even if she dodged, these treasures would explode. I admit defeat, you are really strong. As Zhu Wu admitted defeat, Yi Han also slowly retracted the treasure, and the Vimana slowly landed and then disappeared, leaving only Yi Han and his chair without saying a word. However, in a short time, the people of Xianshu College had been eliminated, leaving only their captain, Schwabinger. Schwabinger did not hesitate and went on stage directly. As soon as she came on stage, Schwabinger directly used her soul skills, covering her body with a layer of ice armor, and then an ice cone flew towards Yi Han. Seeing this, Yi Han blocked the ice cone, and the king's treasure behind him opened again. However, Schwabinger, as a mage, was uncharacteristically close to Yi Han. Yi Han was sure that Schwabinger was not suitable for close combat. Her physical fitness was not as strong as Zhu Wu before. But now Yi Han would not say anything about Schwabinger's choice. The treasure behind him flew out, wanting to end this game. Second soul skill, Freeze. The treasure close to Schwabinger was instantly frozen and fell to the ground. Schwabinger was not fast, but she was still moving forward. Even a long sword had pierced her shoulder, but she was still moving forward. In fact, now Johann only needs to detonate the treasure next to Schwabinger to win and achieve the achievement of 1 against 7. But facing such a persistent Schwabinger, Johann really wanted to see what she wanted to do. Schwabinger approached step by step, and soon after reaching a certain distance, the soul ring on her body suddenly lit up. Third soul skill, resist ice ring. As soon as this skill appeared, Johann suddenly felt an uncontrollable force in his body that repelled it. In a flash, Johann understood why Schwabinger was so persistent. She just wanted him to leave the chair. Johann smiled helplessly in the air, and then landed gracefully. Schwabinger also smiled and said softly to Johann, "Thank you." Schwabinger obviously misunderstood, thinking that Johann did it on purpose, but Johann originally just wanted to see Schwabinger's trump card, and didn't think much about it. Schwabinger was so desperate to get Johann off the chair, in fact, she was giving the people of Shinshu College a hope. It doesn't matter if she is crushed, but if she can't even get Johann off the chair, it will definitely be a fatal blow. As Johann stood up from the chair, Shinshu College rioted, and everyone stood up excitedly. "Great! Sister is great! We won!" Shui Yuir said excitedly. Even the audience in the entire arena cheered for Schwabinger, as if she had accomplished an incredible feat. "Referee, I give up." As Schwabinger gave up, it was announced that Johann had successfully defeated 7. The audience cheered again, not only for Schwabinger, but also for Johann. At this moment, the Dimension Academy showed the world 3 different attitudes: the absolute force of Dongtang, the endless military power of Esdeath, and the noble elegance of Johann. Now I declare that the victory belongs to the Dimension Academy. They have once again completed a 1-on-7 victory. It's so wonderful. Sister, you are so amazing. We won when that annoying guy got off the chair. Shui Yuir said lively. Schwabinger smiled helplessly. Actually, Johan's recognition is not bad. If it weren't for him letting me go, I wouldn't be able to enter the range of the anti-ice ring. In Schwabinger's eyes, Johann noticed her intention and deliberately gave her a chance. Humph. No matter what, he's coming down anyway. As long as he gets down from that broken chair, I'll win. Shui Yuir is not a fool, she can see it naturally, but this doesn't prevent her from being happy. On the other side, Johann walked off the stage with an indifferent face, and then went into the break. The next moment, he couldn't hold back his expression anymore, and rubbed his face. "Really, you've been expressionless all the time, and it makes my muscles twitch." You laughed. Leah suddenly said. Johann was stunned, when heaven and earth can witness it. I have always been indifferent, I don't say a word, and I am ruthless when I attack. Leah is right. In the final battle against Schwabinger, you not only let her win, but also laughed at the end. Tang San said with a smirk. Johann also remembered at this time, "You can't blame me for this, I just wanted to see what tricks she had, but I didn't expect that she just wanted to get me off the chair." No matter, anyway, you let her win and laughed. No matter how Johann explained, you bit him to death. Allah. Zion, have you forgotten what you said to us? Tang San's words made Johann slightly confused, and then he heard Dongtang slowly say, "Don't reason with women." Johann said, "Master, I understand, this is really what Johann said himself, it was originally to warn them not to pay attention to some unreasonable women, but I didn't expect to use it on myself. Okay. I am wrong, I admit my guilt." "Very good. What's wrong with it?" Esdeath nodded and suddenly spoke. Johann was really confused at this moment. He definitely didn't say this. Is this universal in the universe? There is no explanation for this kind of thing. Even if he said his own mistakes, there must be more than one. No matter how he explained it at this time, please see Dongtang's words for details. Everything is wrong, I am full of sincerity, and I will sacrifice my life to accompany you no matter what you want to do. Johann understood that he could not escape this disaster at all, and it would be easier to just accept his fate. The final solution was a very feminine one, which was to go shopping. However, Johann, who was already a Soul Sect member, didn't know why he felt his legs were warning him to take a rest after walking a short distance. However, looking at the excited people around him, Johann knew very well that if he said this out loud, something might go wrong. Chapter 83 next time. With the realization that Johann had run himself to death, He finally survived from these women, which was a cause for celebration. However, the following games could only be described as boring. All the colleges that encountered the Dimension Academy gave up, and shamelessly said that as long as I didn't play with the Dimension Academy, I wouldn't be defeated by 7. In this way, I am stronger than the single attribute colleges. Of course, this is just a rumor among them. If it really spreads, they will definitely be beaten by the single attribute colleges. Another more sensational thing is that the Elephant Armor College gave up from the game, not just one game, but went back directly, and did not participate in the following games. After all, the students of the Elephant Armor College do not have the pressure of further studies. After graduation, they can directly enter the Elephant Armor Sect, which can be said to be a seamless connection. What's more, now there are preliminaries and promotion games. Losing the game has already determined that they cannot enter the finals, so there is no need to waste time. Just when Yihan felt that he was going to die of boredom, he finally ushered in a turning point after Shrek College won today. Yihan keenly felt that when Tang San and others left, Feng Zai Ocean from the Divine Wind College followed. Yihan said he wanted to join in on such a fun thing. Zio-san, I have something to ask you. When Feng Zai Ocean and Ho Washuang didn't notice, Yihan pulled Tang San from Zio Wu's hand and ran away. Little rabbit, lend me your husband. Tang San was dragged away by Yihan with a confused look on his face, and Zio Wu was disheveled in the wind. When did they become so close? Don't you think Brother San would like this? Ma Hongjin approached Dime Yubei and Oscar with some uncertainty. Oscar looked at Yihan deeply. In fact, based on Yihan's appearance, it's not impossible for Zio-san to fall. What are you talking about? Hearing Zio Wu's angry voice, Dime Yubei, who was about to join the discussion, walked directly to Zhu Xiuqing with a serious face. Humph. I absolutely believe in Zio-san. You guys disappoint me so much? Zhu Xiuqing looked at him coldly and turned away. Hey. Xiuqing, wait for me. Humph, Zio-ao, I didn't expect you to be such a person. Zio Wu, let's go. Don't pay attention to them. Ningrongrong looked at Oscar and the others with some contempt. Oscar was no longer calm. He quickly stood up and said to Ma Hongjin, I don't want to be with you. Alice, wrong, I was bewitched by the fat man. Please forgive me. Seeing that everyone else had left, Ma Hongjin said why he couldn't be happy. They were in pairs, and he was alone. When Ma Hongjin thought of this, he felt that his evil fire was a little bit uncontrollable. He didn't go back to the academy, and looked for places like brothels nearby. Walking on the road, Ma Hongjin's brain kept thinking, I don't know if what Yihan said is true. If I can cure the evil fire, can I find a girlfriend? The journey back to the academy for the Shrek people was not so smooth. At this moment, Feng Zai Ocean and Ho Washuang were very pretentious in the middle of the road, stopping the Shrek people. Let Tang San come out. I have something to do with Tang San. Feng Zai Ocean turned around and said very seriously. Zio Wu in the crowd looked dark, he's not here. Feng Zai Ocean looked around Shrek and found that Tang San was really not here, and asked anxiously, then where is he? Oh, Zio-san is. His Oscar was pinched hard on the waist before he could finish his words. Who knows where he came from, you can go to the back to look for him. Zio Wu said as she pulled Ningrongrong past the two people, obviously in a bad mood. Wrong, why didn't you let me tell them? Oscar asked a little aggrieved. Ningrongrong said speechlessly, don't you see that Feng Zai Ocean is looking for the third brother with bad intentions? Really? Yes. As the Shrek people walked away, Zio Wu said unhappily, why do they all come to the third brother? It's so annoying. Ho Wu was the same before. Zio Wu, you are jealous. But being jealous of Yihan is too outrageous. Although his face is very deceptive, he is a boy. Ningrongrong said with a helpless smile. Zio Wu blushed, and did not reply, pulling Ningrongrong away quickly. At this moment, Ho Washuang and Feng Zai Ocean stood awkwardly in the middle of the road. What should we do now? It shouldn't be. Logically, Tang San was with us when we came out, why is he gone here? Feng Zai Ocean said puzzledly. Ho Washuang thought so too, they saw Tang San coming out, so they intercepted him here. Such a short distance, Tang San must still be nearby, let's go find him. Feng Zai Ocean was a little unwilling, and walked back with Ho Washuang. On the other side, Yihan and Tang San sat on a bench. Yihan looked left and right, as if waiting for someone. Zio-han, what on earth did you call me over for? Tang San asked helplessly. Nothing. Facing Yihan's answer, Tang San froze. Nothing, I'll leave. Of course, Yihan let Tang San leave so easily, and held down Tang San, who was about to stand up. Don't worry. Just because you're okay now doesn't mean you'll be okay later. Are you missing Xiao Wu? Tang San blushed slightly, and said with some stammering, Xiao Wu, she's just my sister. Yihan smiled knowingly. I understand, you love your sister in front of people, but you love your sister behind people. I didn't expect that you, with your thick eyebrows and big eyes, are not a good thing. Tang San's face darkened. What on earth do you understand? It's not good at all. Tang San. Just when Yihan was about to speak, two angry voices came from behind the two of them. Yihan was shocked and looked back. Oh no. In the original novel, shouldn't there be only Feng Xia Ocean? How come Ho Wushileng is here too? Ho Wushileng and Feng Xia Ocean looked unhappy at the moment, and even had a bit of murderous aura. This matter started with the victory of Shrek Academy over Blazing Academy. Tang San showed his heroic spirit alone, and Ho Wu was somewhat moved. As Ho Wu's loyal loyal pursuer, Feng Xia Ocean naturally found out and was furious. He told Ho Wushileng of the United Front about this matter, and then Ho Wushileng was furious and began to scold Tang San, saying that he was already with Xiao Wu and still wanted to provoke his goddess. Feng Xia Ocean was so angry when he heard this. Yihan and Xiao Wu were already too, but he was still not satisfied, and he wanted to harm his Ho Wu. Today, he was looking for Tang San to make things clear, but he saw Yihan and Tang San sitting on a bench, talking and laughing. You have to know that in Ho Wushileng's eyes, Yihan has always been a cold goddess, neat and tidy during the game, and never smiles. Since the only two smiles were directed at Tang San, how could he tolerate this? Feng Xia Ocean couldn't tolerate it even more. You are dating Yihan and you are provoking your own Ho Wu. Are you trying to make me laugh? Tang San was facing two aggressive people at this moment. He stepped back cautiously for a while. What are you going to do? You asked me what I want to do? What are you doing? Feng Xia Ocean roared in anger. You already have two beautiful girls, and you still want to provoke Ho Wu. Yihan was about to explain, but Tang San was the first to lose his composure. He didn't do anything to let Xiao Wu down. Don't talk nonsense. I directly refused Ho Wu's matter. What? Since you dare to refuse, how can you refuse Ho Wu? Feng Xia Ocean was a little incoherent. Yihan. Tang San. Ho Wushileng. Facing the surprised eyes of the three people, Feng Xia Ocean reacted in a moment and coughed. It's good to refuse. But this is not a reason for you to refuse. I want to duel with you. Tang San's mind at the moment was really MMP. He had already refused and there were still so many things. Looking at Yihan, who was controlling something in the void, Tang San felt uneasy. I have something else to do. I'm leaving first. The duel will be next time. Facing Tang San's escape, Feng Xia Ocean stopped him. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about tomorrow. I will be the first to go on the field of Shenfeng Academy. If you can beat me, our Shenfeng Academy will admit defeat. Do you dare? Tang San frowned when he heard this. As a rational young man, Tang San would never agree rashly. I'll go back and discuss it with the people in my academy. If I go on the field first tomorrow, it means I agree. This was obviously not the answer Feng Xia Ocean wanted, but he couldn't say anything at the moment. Ho Wushileng saw that Tang San wanted to leave and wanted to intercept him. But the experienced Tang San used Ghost Shadow to bypass Ho Wushileng and disappeared. Yihan stood up slowly and walked to Ho Wushileng. Actually, I have something to tell you. Ho Wushileng was shocked when he heard Yihan's voice. He turned his head and looked at Yihan's beautiful face. Ho Wushileng said that he couldn't control himself. What do you want to say? Ho Wushileng swallowed his saliva, and Feng Xia Ocean also felt that the atmosphere was a little subtle. Yihan didn't intend to hide anything from the beginning. He just wanted to take this opportunity to make it clear and put an end to Ho Wushileng's bad thoughts. Actually, I am. Wait. I think no matter whether it is a good result or a bad result, I can't accept it now. I'm leaving first. After this high-level Soul Master competition is over, I will definitely come to you. Ho Wushileng's heart seemed to be about to jump out, and the whole person quickly pulled Feng Xia Ocean and ran away, leaving Yihan with a question mark on his face. Chapter 84. In order to avoid being beaten 7-1. Ho Wushileng dragged Feng Xia Ocean and ran for an unknown distance before they stopped. Both of them were out of breath. I say, big brother-in-law, Why are you running away all of a sudden? Feng Xiaoshan slowed down and asked in confusion. Ho Wuxiang held his heart. It was almost over, but when Feng Xiaoshan said that, he thought of Yi Han's face and his heart started beating wildly again. What if Yi Han refuses me? Ho Wuxiang said a little embarrassedly after calming down. Feng Xiaoshan rolled his eyes when he heard it. What if Yi Han agrees to you? Then I'm afraid my heart will stop beating, so I'd better slow down. Give it some time to prepare. Yi Han on the other side was thinking about why Ho Wuxiang ran away, and then suddenly thought of a possibility, and a chill ran through his body. Could it be that Ho Wuxiang knew that I was a man, but still did this? Yi Han found that he seemed to know something bad. The whole person's brain is now full of men on top of men, knowing men and going up. Once this person has an idea, he can't stop. Yi Han also left here quickly. He felt that he should go back to the hotel and have a good sleep to comfort his injured heart. Time flies. At this moment, the Shenfeng Academy has officially kicked off with the Shrek Academy. Feng Xiaoshan naturally kept his promise and went on stage first. While he was waiting anxiously, Tang San also went on stage. Seeing this, Feng Xiaoshan's eyes lit up. You still have some backbone. Tang San smiled. Tang San understood Feng Xiaoshan's misunderstanding. He couldn't explain it clearly. At this time, he could only convince people with virtue. The battle between the two can't be said to be fierce. It can be said to be the most evenly matched match. Unlike the crushing of Yi Han and others, this is more entertaining. Just like the original, Tang San used the chaotic cloak of the clear sky hammer to win. Unlike the original, the ghost on the high platform changed his face at this moment. For the spirit hall, the clear sky hammer is not a good thing. Moreover, the fact that Tang San has twin martial spirits is now clear as day. Salus. Inform His Holiness the Pope, it seems that we have one more target to kill. The ghost sent a message and ignored it. The Divine Wind Academy admitted defeat directly after Feng Xiaoshan lost, and Feng Xiaoshan was really frustrated at this moment. His own gale wings can restore him to his peak state. He has never fought against 2 lives against 1 life, and Feng Xiaoshan said he couldn't accept it. It's out. Who is the unlucky guy this time? It's the Divine Wind Academy. Ha ha ha. The Divine Wind Academy is too miserable. Just now they were beaten by the Shrek Academy, and now they have to fight with the Dimension Academy, and they are beaten again. Yi Han, who got the news, also had a strange look on his face. Is this double happiness? Since even the organizers are going to do this kind of thing, they will naturally not show mercy. The Divine Wind Academy naturally got the bad news, and everyone looked at Feng Xiaoshan in silence. Feng Xiaoshan was already very sad, and now he was even more hurt. Captain, are we still going to have a one-on-one duel? One-on-one duel? Bullshit. Who can I beat? Do I have to find a support-type spirit master from the opposite side? You have no shame, but I still have some. Feng Xiaoshan's face was ashen. In dealing with Shrek Academy, on the one hand, Tang San was the absolute core, and on the other hand, he was very unhappy with Tang San. You said that when fighting against the Dimension Academy, there were 3 people on the field, and Feng Xiaoshan felt that he couldn't beat them alone, which was very uncomfortable. Listen. No matter what you say tomorrow, you can't be defeated by 1 through 7. But, other academies all said so, and in the end they were defeated by 1 through 7. A team member said cautiously. So as long as we don't get defeated by 1 through 7, we can become the leader of the single attribute academies. Feng Xiaoshan knew that it was embarrassing to say this, but this was also the common understanding of the single attribute academies during this period. In order to get a higher winning rate, many people appeared in Feng Xiaoshan's reception room at this moment. Everyone, I invited you here for the Dimension Academy. If our single attribute academy is defeated by 7, it would be embarrassing. Can we share some information? Feng Xiaoshan's words made sense. Although the single attribute academies don't get along with each other, they are of the same blood after all. If they are defeated by 7 again, it would be embarrassing. Esdeath is very strong. Since she used her 4th soul skill, I don't even have the courage to be her opponent now. Ho Wu said a little depressed. Yu Xiangxin nodded to show her understanding. The Dimension Academy is indeed very scary. To be honest, if it is not necessary, I don't think I will attack Dongtang in the future. Yi Han is very strong. I don't know if you have noticed that no matter how hard we tried in the end, Yi Han only used the first 2 soul skills, that is, the 3rd and 4th soul skills, and they were not used. Schwabinger's words made everyone silent. They didn't realize it before, but now they know that some things really can't be speculated, otherwise all that is left is despair. Then why should we fight? Captain, why don't we surrender too? If we don't fight, it won't be a 1 against 7. Facing the frustration of his team members, Feng Ziocean said unhappily, "Get out of the way, you are shameless, I want it. Actually, you don't have to worry about these 3 people. According to my analysis, the people from Dimension Academy should not be repeated. After all, close combat against the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex and Ice Attribute battle against Blazing Academy are a bit unreasonable. So there is only one possibility that they will play in a random way." After Schwabinger finished speaking, Yu Xiangxin spoke first. "You mean, Dimension Academy will have one person from Honjo Kid, Tokisaki Kurumi, Shipfingen Yoruichi and Altria?" "That's right. Tokisaki Kurumi saved you when you were seriously injured, so she should be an auxiliary soul master, and Honjo Kid is obviously a defensive soul master, which means you have to choose one between Altria and Shipfingen Yoruichi." Schwabinger took out a piece of information from the Soul Guide and said, "This is the information that Shianshu Academy spent a lot of money to find, but it's a pity that it's still a little late." Feng Ziocean's eyes lit up when he looked at the information. "Great, with this information, our chance of winning will be higher." Schwabinger's information recorded a lot of Yihan and others' open tracks, but it was just some information about life. The most useful should be the information about the Great Fighting Soul Arena. Feng Ziocean's target was naturally Leah and Yi Yi. He found that Leah's martial spirit had the word sword written on it, and Yi Yi had the word unknown written on it. There was no specific soul skill, but it was amazing that the two of them got the Gold Fighting Soul badge without losing a single battle. One is a sensitive attack system, and the other is a strong attack system. It seems that Shifengin Yi is easier to deal with. Feng Ziocean waited and said, "After all, in the eyes of most people, the sensitive attack system is fast and lacks attack power. If Yuhan was here, he would definitely tell them that the best person to meet was Leah. As King Arthur, Leah never engaged in any conspiracy or tricks, but just went for the front. Yi was not necessarily the case. As the leader of the Xing army, he could not do anything shady. Because of Leah and Yi, Yihan did not draw lots, and directly played rock paper scissors. So a game of eyesight, speed and intuition began. The two could always judge the other's choice at the moment of the other's move, and then change quickly. 153rd round, draw. Seeing this, Yihan felt that he had to stop it, otherwise it would really be endless. Neither of you are allowed to use your abilities. Otherwise, when will the winner be decided? Yihan said speechlessly. Leah looked at Yihan innocently, but intuition is a passive skill. Yihan really didn't know what to do for a while, and took the two people to different rooms. "I declare, rock paper scissors. Zio Feng, what is 3-3? My side is cloth. Brother Han, Leah is scissors. Yes, V. Yihan knew that even so, Leah's intuition would still work, but he couldn't control it now. If not, the two could play until the start of the game tomorrow. In that case, tomorrow's match against Kamikaze Academy will be Leah, and Sister Yi. Don't be depressed. We should still play against Shrek Academy. You can go up then. Yihan said with a smile. Yi thought so too. It's not like there is no chance. Isn't Shrek Academy also an opportunity to show off his skills? That makes sense. Sister's anger will take good care of the children of Shrek. Facing such a Yihan could only mourn for everyone in Shrek. Chapter 85. Please show all your strength. Early in the morning, before the game started, the entire square was already crowded. Even the few people on the high platform arrived early. Today, Shenfeng Academy can be said to be the last single attribute academy. Master Ning, do you think Shenfeng Academy has a chance? Emperor Ziyi was not talking about winning, but not being defeated by 1 through 7. Ning Fengzi shook his head. Shenfeng Academy is still a little short. Then Master Ning, who do you think will win if Shrek Academy fights against Dimension Academy? Gui Mei, who had not participated in the discussion, suddenly spoke up. After asking this, Emperor Ziyi also looked at Ning Fengzi with great curiosity. To be honest, Ning Fengzi himself was not quite sure. Shrek Academy may not win, but it should not be defeated by 1 through 7. Here they come. People from Dimension Academy are here. I envy the Zhuangtang so much. There are 6 beauties around him. I feel sorry for Shenfeng Academy. Amid the heated discussion of the audience, Yihan and others slowly entered the venue, and Shenfeng Academy on the other side also appeared at the gate. This time, the Kamikaze Academy was not the only one fighting. Feng Zai Ocean was followed by other single-attribute academies. This was a battle for dignity. Yihan saw this clearly and said with a smile, "It seems that the Kamikaze Academy is well prepared today. Leah, be careful." Leah nodded and said seriously, "I never underestimate my opponents." Time passed by, and when the audience couldn't wait any longer, the host finally came out. "I believe everyone has been waiting for a long time. The next battle is between the Kamikaze Academy and the Dimension Academy. Please enter the venue." Leah walked slowly to the arena with a serious face. The person sent by the Kamikaze Academy was obviously a supporting role. According to the results of yesterday's discussion, the first person to go on stage must be a spirit master of the Agility Attack Department. He didn't seek to win, but just hoped to test Leah's spirit skills and some of his strength. The competition officially begins. As the hosts' competition began, Leah's first spirit ring flashed, which was the first spirit skill, the Wind King Barrier. The supporting cast on the opposite side saw the first soul ring light up, and quickly retreated, carefully observing the surroundings. The people in the Single Attribute Academy did the same. Only after confirming that there was no change did they breathe a sigh of relief. Altria's first soul skill should be an amplification soul skill. The others nodded. Only Yu Xiangxin always felt that something was wrong, but couldn't put it into words. Is there really no soul skill effect in the information you collected? Schwabinger shook her head helplessly. You have asked many times. I don't know why the people in the Great Fighting Soul Arena are completely unwilling to disclose it, and there is no one who knows the soul skill effect, but who knows if she concealed the effect of the soul skill at the beginning? If she concealed it, it might be false information. Leah on the ring saw that the other party did not make a move, and rushed out quickly with the invisible holy sword in her right hand. As a supporting cast of a sensitive attack soul master, she naturally wanted to retreat quickly, but from the perspective of others, Leah had stopped and waved her fists before she reached the position. The supporting cast on the opposite side was also stunned, while Leah frowned. These people's combat awareness is too poor. The original direction of the sword blade was horizontal, and the back of the holy sword hit the supporting cast hard. Seeing the supporting cast flying backwards and losing its combat effectiveness, everyone stood up in horror. After all, other people couldn't see the holy sword, and it seemed that Leah didn't touch the opponent, but the opponent was directly seriously injured. Tisk, invisible sword, what a trouble. Daimyo Bei, who had fought with Leah before, said helplessly. The other people in Shrek also nodded. After all, you have to understand that the opponent has something invisible first, and then you have to test what kind of weapon it is, length, quality and a series of things. The supporting cast was carried off the field and said to Feng Zai Ocean seriously, there is something in your hand. After that, he fainted. Feng Zai Ocean turned around and looked at several people. Ho Washuang and Schwabinger shook their heads. Only Yu Xiangxin suddenly thought of something and said excitedly, it's a sword. Her martial soul is a sword. The first soul ring is lit, but no martial soul appears. In addition to his previous strange movements, he is holding a sword in his hand. An invisible sword. Yu Xiangxin said this and everyone's eyes lit up. Feng Zai Ocean hurriedly explained some things to the players who were about to play. But sometimes even if you know, you still can't stop it. Even if they know that Leah has a sword in her hand, they have no way to stop it. They can only be sent off one by one. Leah didn't even use any soul skills except the Wind King Barrier. For Leah, every opponent should be taken seriously and treated seriously. This is to respect the opponent and respect yourself. Such a character makes the opponents who fight with Leah feel honored, but also very bitter. Others may underestimate the enemy and be found opportunities, but Leah will not. Leah's strong strength puts pressure on the Single Attribute Academy. Leah's attitude is the root of their despair. At this moment, Feng Zai Ocean was the only one left in the Divine Wind Academy. The entire Divine Wind Academy gathered the strength of 6 people, but they didn't even let Leah untie the Wind King Barrier. Feng Zai Ocean, do your best. Seeing that the situation was so bad, Yu Xiangxin couldn't find any other way to comfort him, so he could only say this. At this moment, the audience who were not Soul Masters could see that the Dimension Academy was going to be defeated by 7 again, not to mention Feng Zai Ocean and others who were Soul Masters. You are very strong. Or you are very strong, but I don't want to admit defeat. I know I may not win, so please show all your strength. Feng Xiaoshan looked at Leah seriously. This attitude moved Leah a little, and she nodded very seriously. I promise you. I will never let you down. Yuhan outside the court shook his head helplessly. This Feng Xiaoshan is really. Alice, forget it, maybe this is fate. He could only express pity for Feng Xiaoshan in his heart. After all, if you said to let Leah go all out, then Leah would definitely not hold back. This was no joke. Yihan had already asked Tang San to prepare. When everyone on the platform heard that Leah was going to use all her strength, they all looked at Leah attentively, especially Gui Mei, who came with a mission. Thank you. Feng Xiaoshan smiled, and his soul power rioted. 2 wolf heads appeared. It was his martial soul, the 2-headed wolf of the wind, which was also one of the top East martial souls. Feng Xiaoshan himself was born with full soul power. As a serious person, Leah would naturally not deceive Feng Xiaoshan. The Wind King barrier slowly disappeared, and a golden noble sword appeared in front of everyone. As the Wind King barrier disappeared, everyone felt Leah's strength, and even at this moment Leah gave people an irresistible majesty. It's a different momentum again. This is the majesty of the king. Gui Mei was very annoyed. The more powerful Yuhan and the others were, the worse it would be for the Wuhan Hall. Feng Xiaoshan, who was in the competition field, was the one who felt everything most directly, and his heart was very solemn. In terms of momentum, he was no longer dominant. Feng Xiaoshan's first soul skill flashed, and he waved his hands, and dozens of wind blades rushed towards Leah quickly. The seemingly impenetrable wind blades were vulnerable to Leah's intuition. Leah dodged calmly, and each move just happened to perfectly avoid Feng Xiaoshan's wind blades. Seeing this, a huge green wing appeared behind Feng Xiaoshan and quickly rose into the air. He deeply understood that he had to occupy the advantage of the sky to have a chance. Leah looked up at Feng Xiaoshan in the air, and a wing appeared behind him. It was the wing of the red dragon with the soul bone attached. With the pressure of the dragon, Leah quickly flew towards Feng Xiaoshan. Feng Xiaoshan, who was originally preparing to condense something, was interrupted. The whole person was a little unbelievable. The Kamikaze Academy did have flying martial spirits in the previous game. But Leah's wings were used for the first time, which led to Feng Xiaoshan's misunderstanding at the beginning. Leah did not have the ability to fly. Caught off guard, Feng Xiaoshan could only give up condensing soul power and use both hands to block Leah's attack. Just for a moment, Feng Xiaoshan felt a huge pain in his hands, and an irresistible force smashed him hard on the ground, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Third soul skill, Swift Winged Wings. Feng Xiaoshan had no choice but to use his third soul skill, quickly recovering from his injuries, and then quickly ascended into the air, his soul power constantly raging. This is my self-created soul skill, Swift Winged Wolf. 36 consecutive slashes. If you catch it, I will admit defeat. Leah looked at Feng Xiaoshan calmly in the air. Under normal circumstances, Leah should have interrupted Feng Xiaoshan, but he saw Feng Xiaoshan's persistence and desire for victory. Seeing this, Leah planned to defeat the opponent head-on, which was the greatest respect for a Feng Xiaoshan. Feng Xiaoshan looked at Leah, who did not move, and smiled. Thank you. As Feng Xiaoshan continued to condense his soul power, the entire ring was whistling with a strong wind, and even some of the scattered soul power fell on the ground and formed a crack. I didn't expect that besides the Dimension Academy, there are other people who can do this. Gimei looked at Feng Xiaoshan with some appreciation, and then quickly sent a message. Salis, investigate Feng Xiaoshan's background information, and bring him into the Spirit Hall if possible. Of course, it was not just Gimei who was involved at this moment. Emperor Zuyi also waved his hand imperceptibly, and the meaning was self-evident. Chapter 86. A bit flat. Seeing that Leah was not going to interrupt Feng Xiaoshan's self-created soul skills, everyone was looking forward to it. You know, self-created soul skills can't be formed naturally like soul skills given by soul rings, but all soul masters who can create their own soul skills are amazing talents. Self-created soul skills are all combined with their own situation, so they are more practical. What's more, no matter from which aspect, Feng Xiaoshan's self-created soul skills are not weak at this moment. Feng Xiaoshan, who had been condensing for a while, opened his eyes, and the wind wings behind him waved, rushing towards Leah quickly. With Feng Xiaoshan's actions, a huge 2-headed wolf appeared behind him, with huge wind pressure and cutting, and the entire arena was a little overwhelmed in an instant. Feng Zai Ocean's move gave everyone in the Single Attribute Academy a glimmer of hope, the hope of not being beaten 7-1. Even the audience around felt that the undefeated golden body of the Dimension Academy was about to be broken. But Johan off the court was not panicked at all. He saw Leah's scabbard move. Avalon, or the distant Utopia, is a bug. Even the golden sword of separation cannot cause any damage to it. What is the concept? You should know that the golden sword of separation is a treasure against the world. Although Leah may not be able to perfectly exert the effect of Avalon at this moment, it is more than enough to deal with Feng Zai Ocean of the Soul Sect. A series of transparent blocks formed a huge shield in front of Leah, and the 36 consecutive slashes of the Wind Wolf hit the shield formed by Avalon fiercely. For a time, dust rose up around and instantly enveloped the entire arena. Johan smiled when he saw it. This also triggered the law of smoke without injury. I hope Feng Zai Ocean doesn't shut himself up. Just as Johan said, the dust disappeared with the wind pressure condensed by Leah, and the Single Attribute Academy that had hope was all stunned at this moment. Feng Zai Ocean stood there alone, the shield in front of Leah was unscathed, and even Leah was not stained with a trace of dust. At this moment, Leah seemed like an invincible emperor. Feng Zai Ocean, who was full of confidence at first, really felt like a joke at this moment. The moment he touched Avalon, Feng Zai Ocean found that he could not make any progress. No matter how he increased his soul power, he could not break through this layer of transparent shield. Leah did not even make any movement behind the shield. Maybe this is the last straw that broke the camel's back. Feng Zai Ocean smiled bitterly and raised his hand. I admit defeat. After saying that, he walked off the stage in a somewhat dejected manner. Looking at Feng Zai Ocean who walked off the stage, the people from the Single Attribute Academy surrounded him. Sorry, I disappoint you. Feng Zai Ocean, you are already very strong, but the people from the Dimension Academy, except Johan, are all perverts. Ho Wuxiang looked at the somewhat decadent Feng Zai Ocean and said quickly. Feng Zai Ocean shook his head. Let me be quiet. Seeing Feng Zai Ocean leave, Ho Wuxiang wanted to chase him, but was pulled back by Ho Wu. At this time, let him be quiet. Yu Xiangxin also nodded with deep feeling. Perhaps what Feng Zai Ocean couldn't accept was not the failure, but the result of his own self-created spirit skills. As a killer, the self-created spirit skills couldn't even break the opponent's defense. How desperate it was. So far, the undefeated golden body of the Dimension Academy has not been broken, and this achievement is not achieved by one person. As today is over, this achievement is the strength of 4 people together. With the defeat of all the Single Attribute Academies and the abstention of the Elephant Armor Academy, everyone's eyes turned to Shrek Academy. This academy seemed to have a hard time dealing with other academies, but now it has won all the victories. These all victories naturally include the Single Attribute Academies. If it weren't for Johan and others, Tang San would undoubtedly become the most beautiful cub, but now everyone's eyes are focused on the Dimension Academy, and Shrek Academy has fewer people paying attention to it. However, as the competition progressed, the audience found that the only one who seemed to have the best chance of breaking the unbeaten record of Dimension Academy was Shrek Academy. With this thought, everyone found that they had hope again. The one-day competition went by quickly. Just when the organizing committee was about to announce tomorrow's schedule, other academies gave up one after another, leaving only Shrek Academy and Dimension Academy. Seeing this, the organizing committee directly made tomorrow's competition the last one. These academies were also looking forward to this game. Originally, there were only 2 days left in the competition schedule, and their own academies had shown what they should show, so that the final battle would be one step faster. As the competition progressed to this point, the quota was basically determined, and Shrek Academy would successfully advance to the next round regardless of winning or losing. Kamikaze Academy also won the promotion quota with an impressive record of only losing to Dimension Academy and Shrek Academy. As long as Dimension Academy beats Shrek Academy, the last quota will be firmly won, but if it loses, Dimension Academy will lose its quota due to too many previous abstentions, and then the one who advances will be Thunder Academy. As for the Shyandao Royal Academy, as a seeded player, it was automatically promoted and had already gone to Wuhan City. No way. Third brother, we have to fight these perverts so soon. Ma Hongjin said a little irritably. Tang San also seemed a little helpless about this, and could only shake his head and said encouragingly, do your best. Can we be defeated by 1 against 7? That's right. We must break the undefeated golden body of the Dimension Academy tomorrow. Although Daimyo had no confidence in winning, he was still confident that he would not be defeated by 1 against 7. That's right, we have already got the qualification for promotion. If it doesn't work, just admit defeat. Oscar said in a low voice. Ma Hongjin's eyes lit up, and he nodded quickly in agreement. Yes, yes. There is no need to reveal too much strength in the last battle. Tang San did not express his opinion after hearing this. Let's vote. In the end, it's a battle, or admit defeat. Definitely a battle. Daimyo said with a fighting spirit. Zhu Huqing said coldly, fight. We participate in this competition for the championship. If we don't even have the courage to challenge the Dimension Academy, how can we win the championship? Now we should recognize the gap between the two sides as soon as possible, so that we can find a way to deal with it in Wuhan City later. Ninrongrong's words made the wavering people feel that it was right, and they all supported the battle. Oscar and Ma Hongjin saw that the overall situation had been decided, so they naturally followed the public opinion. At this moment, an unexpected guest came to the hotel of the Dimension Academy. What does Ho Wu from the Blazing Academy want to see me for? Yi Han looked at Tang San in confusion. You will know when you go. Did you do something to let others down? Tang San asked dangerously. Yi Han instantly felt a danger on his head. You guys come with me. Otherwise, I can't wash it off even if I jump into the Yellow River. The others were quite satisfied with Yi Han's attitude, nodded, and the group came to the reception room of the hotel. I wonder what you want to see me for. Yi Han went straight to the point when he saw Ho Wu. If he didn't explain it clearly, he was afraid that something would happen. Ho Wu looked at the people around her and felt a little embarrassed. After all, it was not a glorious thing. She didn't know how to start for a while. Seeing this attitude, Yi Han shouted, What do you mean by being embarrassed to start? Are you trying to hurt me? I don't know how to start. Can we talk alone? As Ho Wu finished speaking, Yi Han could feel the temperature of the air begin to drop. He said righteously, If you have anything to say, just say it here. If it's okay, I'll leave. Seeing that Yi Han was about to leave, Ho Wu didn't care whether it was embarrassing or not. Don't go. I want to ask, can you make it clear to my brother that you don't like him and let him give up this idea? Yi Han. The people who originally thought it was a big melon looked at Yi Han meaningfully. At this moment, Yi Han's face turned green. Can this kind of thing be said in private? No, it seems that, maybe, probably, it may be that I asked her to say it myself. Oh my god, this wave is a dead end. If I talk to Ho Wu alone, I can't clear my relationship with Ho Wu even if I jump into the Yellow River. If I don't talk to him alone, I will be socially dead. Yi Han took a deep breath. I should have no relationship with your brother. What's the point of you looking for me? Ho Wu naturally knew that this was the case, but Ho Wusheng had gone crazy. My brother is deeply in love with you now. I know my brother is not worthy of you, and you don't like him, so I hope you can give him a quick death. Are you really his biological sister? Yi Han was speechless for a while. But thinking about it, some things really need to be made clear, especially the issue of being a man, which must be made clear. I know. I will go back with you, and I will make things clear. Yi Han sighed helplessly and said. Really? That's great. Thank you so much. Ho Wu hugged Yi Han, then she felt a murderous aura and subconsciously let go of Yi Han. Well, you seem a little flat. God, Timo's a little flat. Yi Han's face was full of black lines, and he didn't want to pay attention to Ho Wu. Let's go. I will explain it to Ho Wusheng. I will definitely make him have no feelings for me in the future. Ho Wu swallowed subconsciously, always feeling as if she had let her brother down, but now it was a helpless move to make her brother return to normal. Chapter 87 Four Elements Merger. Seeing that Yi Han was about to leave, Tang San and Yi Yi and the others looked at each other and nodded. Xiao Han, we want to go too. Yi Yi's lazy voice was filled with a hint of excitement that could not be suppressed. Yi Han paused when he heard this and turned to look at the others. Just as he was about to say something, he saw Benjo Feng, who looked pitiful, and Tang San, who was about to say something. Who can stand this? Yi Han said that he had been socially dead once, so what if it happened again? Okay, let's go together. The group walked towards the territory of Blazing Academy in a mighty manner, and saw that it was crowded before they entered. There are so many of you. Yi Han said with a slight twitch at the corner of his mouth. Ho Wu was also puzzled. It shouldn't be possible. If Leiting Academy stays, there is still a theoretical possibility of promotion. Xianshu Academy should have left, After all, there is no possibility of promotion. Then, what is this? Ho Wu could only shake her head. Let's go in first. We can ask when the time comes. Yuhan smiled awkwardly. Is it really okay for us to go in? Ho Wu looked at the people behind Yuhan, and didn't know what to say for a while. The people who were shot 7 by 1 were all inside, and the people who were shot 7 by 1 were ready to go in. Those who knew were Ho Wu asking him to help explain the matter clearly, and those who didn't know thought he was here to provoke. Never mind. It will be fine. Ho Wu's face kept changing, and then she directly and firmly took Yuhan's hand and walked inside. Yuhan was stunned, feeling the unfriendly eyes behind him, and said to Ho Wu helplessly, "You'd better let go, otherwise I'm afraid Feng Zai Ocean will fight me to death in a while." What does this have to do with Feng Zai Ocean? Seeing Ho Wu so confused, Yuhan didn't say much, or wait until he went in to explain it clearly. As soon as they entered the yard, everyone saw the 4 captains of the 4 Elements Academy discussing something fiercely. As soon as Yuhan entered, naturally everyone saw it. Ho Wuxiang quickly stood up and ran to Yuhan in a few steps, asking shyly, why are you here?" When Yuhan saw Ho Wuxiang's posture, he suddenly felt cold all over and quickly stepped back. "Brother, I brought Yuhan here today to talk to you clearly," Ho Wu said speechlessly. "You are really my good sister. Well, your mission has been accomplished. You can go back and rest." Ho Wuxiang looked at Ho Wu with satisfaction, and then tried to push Ho Wu away. A question mark appeared on Ho Wu's head. Is this human language? He broke away from Ho Wuxiang's hand and stood still. "Let's stop here for today. You guys can go too." Ho Wuxiang turned around and looked at Yu Xiangxin and the others. "Wait. I have something to say. These people don't have to leave. It's just right that they are all here, so there will be no misunderstandings in the future," Yuhan said with a smile. Ho Wuxiang felt his heart skip a beat and was a little overwhelmed. He turned his head to look at Ho Wu, but the latter turned his head away angrily. "Don't look at Yu Xiangxin's indifferent look. Now she's in a posture of not leaving and eating melons. You say it. Whether it's good or bad, I will accept it." Ho Wuxiang calmed down and looked at Yuhan with some infatuation. Yuhan said that he couldn't stand such a gay look. He took a few steps back and stopped when he came to Tang San and the others. "First of all, I don't know why you have such a misunderstanding, but to be honest, I am a man, pure." With Yuhan's words, the originally noisy courtyard suddenly became quiet, so quiet that even the breathing sound could be heard clearly. Feng Zai Ocean now felt that he was an idiot for giving Ho Wuxiang advice. He was a man, who could stand it? Now he didn't know how to comfort Ho Wuxiang. Yu Xiangxin and Shui Binger seemed to have discovered a new world. They were just eating melons, and the bigger the melon, the more delicious it was. Seeing the awkward atmosphere, Yuhan didn't know what to say. "Well, how about I leave first? You guys chat slowly." "Wait." Seeing Yuhan leave, Yu Xiangxin said, "Can I ask you a question?" Yuhan nodded, "As long as it's not a weird question." Yu Xiangxin looked at Yuhan seriously. "Although I am optimistic about the Dimension Academy, are you sure you can beat Shrek Academy? You know, Shrek Academy is not weak. This is also related to the situation of our previous quarrel." After saying this, except for the deeply shocked Ho Wuxiang, the others looked at Yuhan. "Sun thief. Let go." Yuhan was about to say it. Feng Zai Ocean suddenly appeared in front of Yuhan and took Ho Wu's hand in his own. When he first came in, Feng Zai Ocean thought Yuhan was a girl and they were holding hands, so he didn't pay attention. Then Yuhan's big news, he was thinking about how to comfort Ho Wuxiang. Now he looked up and saw that the two were still holding hands. How could he tolerate this? As a man, I think you need to keep your distance from women. Feng Zai Ocean looked at Yuhan warily. Ho Wu only realized now why Yuhan said that Feng Zai Ocean would fight him to death later. Yuhan just shrugged his shoulders. "You see clearly, it was Ho Wu who pulled me, not me who pulled him." Feng Zai Ocean knew it naturally, but he was very unhappy. "Okay, let's talk about business. Can you give us an answer to the previous things? Only we will win. No one else." Yuhan smiled confidently. "So, can you talk about your problems?" Yuhan's words made the other people hesitate, and finally Yu Xiangxin stood up and said, "I can tell you, but I hope you don't tell others. After all, it's still uncertain. You say. I'll send 4. If you win, you will advance as the first place, followed by Shrek Academy and Shenfeng Academy. Xiandao Royal Academy will have one place, so the 4 places will be used up. Originally it should have ended here, but Feng Xiaoshan found us and said that even if he entered the finals, Shenfeng Academy would still be the weakest. Why not gather all the strong people from the 4 element academies and form a new academy? After Yu Xiangxin said this, Yihan understood. Isn't this the original book, where Chihiro Academy and Shenfeng Academy joined together? But now the 4 elements are united together. I think what you said makes sense. After all, a single attribute is too simple. Maybe it's not bad to unite. Yihan is still optimistic about the combination of the 4 element academies. Let's not talk about others. Just the captain of the single attribute academy, Yu Xiangxin, who has the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex martial spirit on the offensive side, is very outstanding in burst, attack, and absolute restriction on close combat. Schwabinger's Ice Phoenix martial spirit, a powerful control system, will bring a lot of fault tolerance to the entire team. With his teammates, Feng Xiaoshan is even more so. On the one hand, Feng Xiaoshan himself has anti-aircraft ability, and it is easier to release his own soul skills with the restraint of teammates. In the end, only Ho Wuxiang was left. It seems that except for the fire attribute and a certain combat power, Ho Wuxiang can only be a meat shield at most. It is indeed not worth mentioning, but in the original work, Ho Wu and Feng Xiaoshan performed skills similar to martial soul fusion skills. Thinking about it this way, the 4 element academies are separated and combined again, which is more like a perfect combination, and may also become a strong enemy in the future. Okay, now that the matter has been explained clearly, I think you still need to discuss some details, so I won't bother you anymore. Some of these people turned around and started arguing, but Yihan didn't want to stay, so he took Yi and the others and left. Just as Yihan said, as soon as Yihan left, the 4 elements began a heated discussion. Ho Wu would temporarily take over the Blazing Academy, while Ho Wuxiang felt that his life was bleak and he was withdrawing. The content of the argument was also very simple, about the arrangement of the players. First of all, of course, the 4 captains must play, and with Ho Wu and Feng Xiaoshan's efforts, Ho Wu was also brought on, so the last 2 spots became everyone's target. Chapter 88, Fighting Shrek Academy again. While the 4 elements were clamoring to implement the joint plan, Shrek Academy was also not idle. After Tang San consulted everyone's opinions, he found the master and told him the news. The master also agreed with this. Since you are ready to fight, then I still have a few words to say. The master looked at everyone with a deep look. Ma Hongjin and Oscar, who were originally a little unmotivated, immediately straightened their backs. We at Shrek Academy may be the ones who know the Dimension Academy best. Others think that there are only 5 people in the Dimension Academy who can fight, but the ones who defeated Mubai at the time included Hanjo Kid and Takisaki Kurumi, so no matter who they go up, we must be prepared. The master's words made everyone nod, only Daimyubei's face was not very good. Thinking back to the one-on-one in the Great Fighting Spirit Arena, it was really his most miserable day. Master, who do you think the Dimension Academy will go up? Ma Hongjin asked curiously. If we know, we can also target them, so that we won't be defeated by 1 against 7. What do you think about this, Xianzhen? The master did not answer and looked at Tang San. Tang San thought for a while, raised his head, and said with certainty, Shifengin and Yoruichi. The master looked at Tang San with appreciation. Yes, Yihan's personality is very obvious. He doesn't like surprises. Then there will definitely be surprises when Takisaki Kurumi and Hanjo Kid go on the field, so Shifengin and Yoruichi is the best choice. Then master, what should we do? Tai Long asked doubtfully. Xian Academy has one more 4th soul skill since the last time we fought, and the 4th soul skill seems to have suddenly raised their level, so we must test Shifengin and Yoruichi's 4th soul skill. The master's words made everyone's heart condense slightly. Dongtang's Black Flash, Esdeath's Ice Mist General, and Leah's Distant Utopia all made them feel powerless. Soon the master arranged certain tactics and stopped discussing them, letting them sleep well and prepare for the battle tomorrow. The master thought very clearly that in a one-on-one match, Shrek Academy had no chance of winning at all, but there was still a glimmer of hope in a team battle, so for tomorrow's game, the master always kept the idea of not losing too badly. The next day. This is the last game today, and it is also the game that everyone cares about the most. Master Ning, both teams today are your favorites. I wonder who you are optimistic about. Emperor Zi asked with a smile. Your Majesty, This is embarrassing me. I originally hoped that Shrek Academy could win. After all, my daughter is in Shrek Academy, but the strength of Dimension Academy is too strong. Ning Fengzi smiled helplessly. Soon both sides entered the field. Shrek Academy looked at Dimension Academy and saw that it was indeed Shifengin Yi Yi, and was relieved. After all, the plan made last night was aimed at Yi Yi. Yi Han was full of confidence in Yi Yi, or to say, if anyone could defeat 7 Shrek Academy intact, it would be Yi Yi. The confidence came from Yi Yi's 4th soul skill. The name of the Ghost Way does not only represent a skill, but also a system of skills. The Broken Way, the Binding Way and the Return Way are all powerful. Although some powerful ones cannot be used, the constantly changing 4th soul skill is already very strange. The host had been chattering on the stage for a long time, and finally just finished the last sentence. Next, Dimension Academy Shifengin Yi will fight Shrek Academy Tai Long. The first match of Tai Long was also the result of everyone's discussion. As a spirit master of the agility attack system, Yi Yi's speed is so fast that it makes people afraid. Logically, he should be able to restrain Tai Long. But fast speed means low attack power, so Tai Long is the best choice to consume Yi Yi. As the host finished speaking, Tai Long's first and second spirit rings lit up. Needless to say, it can be felt that Tai Long has added a lot of defense buffs to himself. Yi Yi disappeared in an instant. Tai Long was so fast that he could not see him at all. However, Tang San had said this before, just block him. Yi Yi appeared in front of Tai Long, and the 4th spirit ring on his body flashed. At this moment, no one expected that Yi Yi would release the 4th spirit skill so casually. 4th spirit skill, Ghost Way, Binding Way 9, Collapse Wheel. As the golden light from Yi Yi's fingertips touched Tai Long, suddenly several golden rope-shaped spirit powers appeared around him, directly locking Tai Long from all directions. The sudden change caught everyone off guard. Tai Long was locked and fell to the ground. He struggled frantically, but he couldn't break free no matter how he moved. You lose. Yoruichi Zanpakuto was on Tai Long's neck. Even if he didn't want to admit it, the overall situation was decided and Tai Long was directly judged as the loser. Yui's 4th soul skill should be a forced control skill, but it should be triggered by contact. Even Tai Long's strength can't break free. It's best to reduce melee combat. Jingling, you go in the next game, use speed and long-range attacks. Tang San's combat sense is still quite sharp. Just by watching the 9 binding paths once, the collapse wheel can see some characteristics. Jingling, who was named, also nodded seriously. However, the appearance of Yoruichi's 4th soul skill also made everyone feel relieved. Only one person didn't relax. Tang San always felt that something was wrong. Tang San still trusted his intuition, and the 4th soul skills of other people in the Dimension Academy were so strong, so it didn't make sense for Yoruichi to have only this effect. The most important thing is that Tang San always felt that this skill was not very compatible with the agility attack spirit master. With Jingling on the field, the game started again. Unlike Tai Long, Jingling distanced himself from Yi Yi as soon as he appeared. As a spirit master of the agility attack system, his speed was naturally good. However, Yi Yi had cultivated Tang San's purple demon eye, so he could see clearly. With his sharp fighting instinct, he easily avoided Jingling's attack. Standing still, Yi Yi did not waste his energy to chase Jingling. When Jingling started to move, Yi Yi already knew Jingling's strategy. Yi Yi stretched out a finger, and the 4th spirit ring on his body lit up again. Tang San's pupils shrank. Could this skill be long range? The 4th spirit skill, Ghost Path, Breaking Path 4, White Thunder. A blue lightning shot out from Yi Yi's finger, and the moving Jingling was instantly pierced and fell to the ground. Fortunately, Yi Yi did not aim at the vital point, otherwise he would definitely be killed in one blow. But at this moment, everyone looked at Yi Yi in horror. As we all know, a person's spirit ring can be equipped with at most 1 spirit skill, and only a spirit ring of 100,000 years can have 2 skills. It should be a special spirit ring. Ma Hongjin comforted himself. After all, he was the next one to play. Fatty, be careful. This Yoruichi's 4th spirit skill is not simple. Tang San was not as optimistic as Ma Hongjin. Some things could be said to be coincidences, but what was in front of him was the fact. After Ma Hongjin came on the court, he quickly used his spirit skills to fly into the air. At this moment, he felt very unsafe on the ground and looked at Yoruichi very seriously. Regarding Ma Hongjin's actions, Yoruichi had no intention of stopping him at all. He stretched out a finger at Ma Hongjin with some playfulness. It was just a move, everyone thought it was the previous lightning, and Ma Hongjin also dodged quickly. Fourth spirit skill, one of the binding ways, plug, one of the breaking ways, charge. Ma Hongjin in the air suddenly felt his hands uncontrollably behind his back, and he couldn't keep his balance for a while and fell to the ground. A shock hit Ma Hongjin's face squarely. Yoruichi had come to Ma Hongjin's side with his Zanpakuto, and Ma Hongjin was judged to lose with a confused face. This time, everyone couldn't sit still. If they could say that Yi's spirit ring was special before, so she had 2 spirit skills, but now? There are 4 spirit skills alone. This is too much? What kind of spirit ring can give you 4 skills? Even if it is a 100,000-year spirit ring, it is probably in jeopardy. Fengzi, this Yi is not simple. Bone Douluo stood behind Ning Fengzi and transmitted the voice. When she performed the so-called ghost way before, she said the 9 binding ways, the 1 binding way. This should be the serial number, that is to say, if 9 is the highest, then there are at least 7 binding ways in the middle. The same is true for the broken way, and the highest is not necessarily 9. Ning Fengzi also reacted after hearing this, but this is not the time to go into it. The ghost on the side naturally felt this keenly, and the whole person was shocked. This is a big deal. How effective is Yi's 4th spirit skill? What kind of soul beast provided him with a spirit ring? If the soul rings of this soul beast are all like this, then can others use them? All the major forces were very active at once. If Yuhan knew the problem, he would definitely tell them the soul beast that Yi had absorbed the soul ring from without hesitation. Anyway, these people didn't have the soul ring release device, so even if they killed this race, they couldn't get the ghost path. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89 Fierce Battle. With Ma Hongjin's defeat, the atmosphere of Shrek Academy instantly solidified. If Tailong and Jingling's defeat was to test Yi, then Ma Hongjin's elimination without releasing any soul skills was really stressful. Xiao Wu, you go in the next game, be careful. If you can't do it, admit defeat. Tang San said softly in Xiao Wu's ear according to the previous plan. Xiao Wu nodded and said confidently, "Don't worry, Brother San, I will definitely create opportunities for you." Yi was on the stage, looking at Xiao Wu who was walking towards him, with a strange face, and asked with a smile, "Are you planning to trigger Tang San's law of blackening and bursting?" "Brother San, what is blackening and bursting?" Xiao Wu was stunned by what he said, and was also a little confused. Yi explained with great interest, "Look, every time you get hurt, does Tang San start to turn evil and explode, and then sweep the opponent in one fell swoop. Some of the sweeps are even unscientific, but I don't know why Tang San becomes very scientific when you get hurt. Maybe this is the power of love." Xiao Wu blushed when she was said, and looked at Tang San a little embarrassed. Yi didn't explain at first, and others didn't notice it. Now that he explained, everyone felt that it was really the truth. "Brother San, is what they said true?" Ningrongrong came over and asked in a low voice. For a moment, everyone in Shrek Academy looked at Tang San curiously, and they also wanted to get an answer urgently. Tang San's mouth twitched slightly. "What the hell is this? I just saw Xiao Wu injured and a little angry." Faced with the weirdness of his brothers and sisters, Tang San said he didn't want to talk. However, on the competition stage, Yi and Xiao Wu talked more and more excitedly, and the referee coughed helplessly, "If you don't fight again, you will both give up." After being reminded by the referee, the two also realized that it was not the time to chat. Then chat with Sister Yi next time. Xiao Wu smiled gently, but just when Yi nodded to speak, a pink light flashed in Xiao Wu's eyes. It was Xiao Wu's second soul skill, Charm. Yi was not prepared for a moment and felt dazed. Seeing Yi exposed a flaw, Xiao Wu instantly used her third soul skill, Teleport, to Yi's side, followed by her first soul skill, Waist Bow, to knock Yi away. This set of combined skills can be said to be smooth, and Shrek in the ring was instantly excited. "We are going to win. The next step is the 8-section throwdown." Xiao Wu is awesome. Oscar said a flag in surprise. Just when everyone thought Xiao Wu had already won, Yi, who was attacked, also woke up from the enchanted state. Seeing Xiao Wu's attack coming, the second soul skill on his body lit up. Second soul skill, Kong Chan. Yi disappeared in the air, leaving only a coat. Xiao Wu also discovered this at the moment of attack, and quickly stopped the 8-stage fall, and teleported steadily to the ground. However, Yi's instant steps were like a shadow, and the sudden change suddenly changed from the initial advantage to the current speed competition. Sister Xiao Wu, you are too unethical. If it weren't for my sister's strength, I might have fallen. You have to keep my clothes, Yi said with a playful smile. Xiao Wu couldn't care about talking at this moment. Yi's speed was close to his third soul skill, teleportation. To be honest, even if teleportation consumes very little soul power, it can't withstand such consumption. Yi suddenly stopped, a hint of purple flashed in his eyes, and the index finger of his right hand stretched out. Xiao Wu's heart condensed. Fourth soul skill, Ghost Path, Broken Path 4, White Thunder. Seeing Yi's fourth soul ring flashing, Xiao Wu did not dare to be arrogant and left the spot instantly. Unfortunately, the whole venue did not change at all, and no lightning appeared. In just a moment, Xiao Wu knew that she had been deceived. Sure enough, the moment Xiao Wu teleported, Yi also disappeared from the spot. He came behind Xiao Wu first. I lied to you, this time it's real. Binding Path 9, Collapse Wheel. Xiao Wu felt a little bitter when she realized that she had been deceived, but the fourth soul ring on her body flashed quickly. Fourth soul skill, Invincible Golden Body. The control of Collapse Wheel was offset by the sudden golden body, and Yi was also a little surprised. The moment the golden body ended, Xiao Wu launched the charm again, and then teleported away instantly. This time, Yi will not be controlled so easily. A slight smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Your teleportation is really troublesome. It is worth spending a little soul power for you. Bind Path 58, slap the address and chase the bird. Although this bind path is 58, the effect is very simple. It senses the opponent's soul power and tracks the target. This is absolutely a devastating blow to Xiao Wu's teleportation. Yi seemed to know the direction of Xiao Wu's movement. He appeared at the position where Xiao Wu teleported in an instant. His right hand flashed with golden light, and he was about to be hit. Xiao Wu had no choice but to use the invincible golden body again, but Yi was prepared. The third soul skill on his body flashed, and the anti-ghost killing made Xiao Wu's invincible golden body unable to be used at all. In just such a moment, the collapse wheel bound Xiao Wu and announced Yi's victory. Although the audience around was cheering, everyone on the high platform had a solemn expression. Salas, from now on, you have to record how many soul skills this woman named Shifengun Yi has used. Since this binding method has appeared 58. Gui Mei was annoyed when he said this. Salas also knew not to offend his boss at this time, so he took out a pen and paper to record it. Ning Fengzi and Bondaluo Gurong on the side also looked at each other, and they could see each other's shock. Seeing that Xiao Wu was not injured, Tang San also breathed a sigh of relief, and then said with some gratitude, "Thank you." Yi waved his hand and smiled playfully. "Don't dare, if Xiao Wu is injured, you come on stage to explode, I can't beat you." When Yi said this, Xiao Wu blushed, and Tang San was a little embarrassed. He coughed and carried Xiao Wu off the stage. At this moment, there were only 3 people left in the Dimension Academy to achieve the goal of being undefeated. This time, Shrek sent Dime Yubei, and it was also the previous battle between Xiao Wu and Yi that made Tang San understand that absolute speed has no effect on Yi. "Hey, isn't this little tiger? Long time no see." Hearing this name, Dime Yubei thought of the scene where Yi played tricks on him in the Great Soul Fighting Arena, and suddenly felt a bit of a cerebral hemorrhage. "I'm already a soul master. I will definitely defeat you today. Come on." Yi yawned lazily, and Dime Yubei's mouth twitched slightly. "You are still as annoying as before." First soul skill, White Tiger Body Shield. Third soul skill, White Tiger Vajra Transformation. Facing Yi's weird fourth soul skill, Dime Yubei knew very well that he had to cut a Godian knot quickly. Even if he couldn't beat him, he had to seriously injure Yi. Seeing Dime Yubei rushing over, Yi didn't panic, and left the spot in an instant. For Dime Yubei, speed is always a flaw. One of the binding techniques, block. Dime Yubei, who was dodged by Yi, turned his head and wanted to continue attacking, and then felt his hands uncontrollably behind his back. Damn it! Second soul skill, White Tiger Fierce Light Wave. Yi, who was about to approach, was interrupted by Daimubei's move and had to dodge. Taking this opportunity, Daimubei's veins bulged all over his body and his soul power continued to burst out. Break it from me. With a slight click, Daimubei, who was originally blocked from moving, has returned to normal, breathing heavily. Daimubei looked up and saw that Yi was about to use a soul skill again. Daimubei knew that if he was locked again, he might be eliminated directly. In order to avoid such a situation, Daimubei directly burst out all his soul power. Fourth soul skill, White Tiger Meteor Shower. A series of golden lights rushed straight to the ring, covering the entire ring. This was also Daimubei's plan. Even if Yi was faster, such a covering attack would always hit him a few times. Seeing this, Yoruichi's face became a little solemn. He took a deep breath and stretched out his right hand. The 81st binding technique, severing the sky. Daimubei, who had been relieved, felt uneasy when he heard the number 81. He saw the attack of the White Tiger Meteor Shower suddenly explode in the air. It was as if it had touched some transparent barrier. Not to mention causing any harm to Yoruichi, not even a speck of dust was splashed around Yoruichi. This situation made Daimubei a little unbelievable. Yoruichi came to Daimubei, who had no soul power, with a flash step, and put his Zanpakuto on Daimubei's neck. I didn't expect that, you little tiger gave me a lot of surprises. Yoruichi consumed a lot of soul power to perform severing the sky, but it was worth it. After all, it was Daimubei who condensed all his soul power and released a fatal blow. He should still be respected. Seeing Daimubei's defeat, other colleges were also a little amazed. From the beginning of the high-level Soul Master competition till now, apart from the Dimension Academy itself, the soul skill with the most power should be Feng Xia Ocean Swift Wind Wolf 36 consecutive slashes, followed by Daimubei's White Tiger Meteor Shower. But even so, just like Feng Xia Ocean's attack on Leah, Daimubei at this moment was unable to shake Yi's defense. Different people, but the results are exactly the same. Feng Xia Ocean outside the field looked at Daimubei with a desperate face, and felt very sympathetic. After all, he was also so confused and desperate at the beginning. Chapter 90, Cutting Off the Soul. Now only Zhuxiuqing and Tang San are left in Shrek Academy. Everyone understands that Zhuxiuqing's strength is not enough to defeat Yi, and only Tang San has a chance. After all, from the Advanced Spirit Master competition to now, Tang San has created many miracles. Zhuxiuqing, don't feel pressured, just make sure you don't get hurt. Tang San looked at Zhuxiuqing, who was walking up, and said. Zhuxiuqing nodded and walked to the ring without saying a word. Tang San sighed slightly. He knew that Zhuxiuqing was not convinced. But not convinced does not mean that Yi can be defeated. Zhuxiuqing can compete in speed. If she fights in close combat, she will be attacked by the binding way. This is a nearly crushing game. Yi also found the stubbornness of the little girl in front of him, and did not use a ruthless hand. Zhuxiuqing reminded her of her lovely junior Shattered Bee. She accompanied Zhuxiuqing for 2 moves before eliminating Zhuxiuqing. Now only Tang San is left in Shrek Academy. The audience was even more excited at this moment. Would Tang San create another miracle, defeat Yi, and break the undefeated golden body of Dimension Academy, or would Yi complete a 1-on-7 victory over Shrek Academy? The two faced each other from a distance, and Tang San took a deep breath. I will not lose. Yi was also rare to be serious in front of Tang San. As the game began, he appeared in front of Tang San with a flash step. Although Tang San, who had the purple demon eye, might not be able to see Yi's trajectory very clearly, he still had some warning and could dodge it. One of the binding techniques, block. Seeing Yi using this move, the blue-silver grass beside Tang San had already rushed over quickly to interrupt Yi, who was about to perform. At this moment, Yi realized that Tang San's blue-silver grass covered the entire arena. Seeing this, Yi had to admit that Tang San was a genius. He keenly felt that it would take time for Yi to perform the 4th soul skill, the ghost technique. Although it was very short, it could be interrupted. In this situation, Yi did not hesitate, and quickly used the instant step to get closer to Tang San. Even if Tang San had the purple demon eye, he would always have a flaw if he kept defending. Tang San also knew this truth, so he would not sit still and wait for death. 2nd soul skill, parasitism. When the two kept fighting, Tang San had already arranged everything, and a large amount of blue-silver grass appeared from Yi's body. On the one hand, it could interrupt Yi's offensive, and on the other hand, it could restrict Yi. Seeing the attack of the blue-silver grass, Yi's soul power burst out, and the blue-silver grass was shortened. He put his hands in front of him, bind the way 21, red smoke escape. A huge smoke instantly enveloped the entire arena, and Yi disappeared from the spot in an instant and appeared behind Tang San. Tang San, whose vision was blocked by the smoke, had a moment's error even if he used the purple demon eye. At this moment, Yi was behind Tang San, and golden light appeared on his right hand. Although Tang San did not notice Yi coming behind him at the first time, his combat awareness was naturally not bad, and the external soul bone 8 spider lance behind him appeared instantly. The 8 spider lances were poisonous, and Yi's pupils shrank. The second soul ring on his body lit up, second soul skill, Kong Chan. A coat was directly pierced, and Yi pulled away again. The smoke also dissipated. Yi said helplessly, "Are you two code terminators?" Tang San smiled awkwardly and said nothing. He did not retract the 8 spider lances. He was originally preparing to catch Yi off guard, so he had not used it. However, since it has been used now, there is no unexpected effect. Directly using the 8 spider lances can also easily solve the situation where Yi gets close. Yi is also thinking at this moment, or calculating. Although he cannot get close, most of the broken Dao are long-range attacks, but they cannot have a decisive effect. Or because he released a slapping and chasing sparrow and breaking the sky, one is 58, and the other is 81. The current soul power is not enough to release a large-scale killing and breaking the Dao. After thinking for a moment, Yi took a deep breath, summoned his own spirit Zanpakuto, and smiled. "Kwang San, Tang San will be free of you from now on." As soon as this sentence came out, everyone felt inexplicably familiar. When Dongtang fought Yu Xiangxin, Yi Han said this. And being able to use Kwang San, that means either death or disability. This is not a good sign. Tang San naturally knew it and looked at Yi vigilantly. "You should know that my spirit is a sword. It's called Zanpakuto, and it has a name called White Wing. All my spirit skills have nothing to do with White Wing. But it doesn't mean that it is not my spirit." Yi's words made Tang San more cautious, and the audience outside the venue is also very nervous. Bloom. White Wing. As the release words of the first release ended, a fierce soul pressure hit Tang San's shoulder fiercely, and the short sword in Yi's hand turned into a long sword, and his clothes also turned into the special leader's clothes of the Xing army. At this moment, Yi seemed very indifferent, but very powerful. Yi took a step forward. Tang San's pupils shrank, and Yoruichi had disappeared from the spot, completely disappeared in front of the purple demon eye, and disappeared without a trace. The next moment, Tang San saw as Zanpakuto constantly enlarged in front of him. He instinctively blocked the 8 spider lance in front of him. The moment the Zanpakuto and the 8 spider lance touched, Yoruichi disappeared again. However, Tang San found a terrifying thing. He just felt a tingling pain in his body, and part of the 8 spider lance could no longer be used. Now Tang San could not think too much, because Yoruichi's attack had appeared again. The remaining 8 spider lance blocked it again, but it could not be used again after contact. In such an urgent situation, Tang San could only use the mysterious jade hand to block Yoruichi's Zanpakuto. Just by contact, Tang San felt the tingling pain in his right hand, or it could be said that it was unbearable pain. At this moment, his right hand also lost consciousness and drooped naturally. Tang San took a deep look at his right hand. There was no poisoning, no wounds, but now the whole right hand seemed to have disappeared. "Zio-san, what's going on? Why don't you use the 8 spider lance to block it?" Oscar asked with some confusion. Everyone in Shrek Academy was also somewhat puzzled. "Look, Zio-san's right hand has not moved since it touched the knife. Is it because the knife has a paralysis effect, or some other similar effect? I don't know. But even if it is a paralysis effect, the effect is too significant." Ningrongrong retorted. Tang San knew that this situation could not continue. While his left hand was still able to move, Tang San summoned the Clear Sky Hammer again and wanted to cast the Chaos Cloak. However, as soon as Yoruichi's Zanpakuto touched the Clear Sky Hammer, a pain in his soul pierced his heart. Tang San spit out a mouthful of blood and knelt on the ground. The Clear Sky Hammer was disappearing. At this moment, Tang San looked at Yoruichi in disbelief. He could feel that the Clear Sky Hammer did not disappear naturally. Instead, He felt that this martial spirit did not belong to him, or he wanted to summon the clear sky hammer now, but there was no response. What on earth did you do? The clear sky hammer was the martial spirit left to Tang San by his father, and it was a part that Tang San could not give up, so the current situation made Tang San a little hysterical. Yoruichi appeared in front of everyone, the longsword in his hand slowly disappeared, the familiar short knife appeared again, and the clothes changed back to the previous appearance. Zenpakudo, it is not your body that is chopped, but your soul, the soul. Admit defeat. Let Kwang San give you a shot later, and you will recover. Everyone felt incredible about Yoruichi's words. In the Soul Master world for so many years, when has there been an existence that attacks the soul? The one who was most deeply touched on the high platform was Ghost Douluo. He always remembered the inheritance of the God of Souls, although Jindaolio had clearly said that it was fake. But the ghost just felt that there was a problem. Now looking at Yoruichi's appearance, the ghost had a bold idea, but if this idea was true, it would not be good news for the Spirit Hall. The ghost believed that the inheritance of the God of Souls was obtained by Yoruichi, so it would not be difficult to explain what happened before. Tang San in the field also shrank his pupils, but after hearing Yoruichi's words, he calmed down. After all, he was still clear about Kwang San's ability. I admit defeat. In the current situation, Tang San was completely unable to fight and could only admit defeat. Yi also breathed a sigh of relief and walked down slowly. When passing by Kwang San, he apologized and said, "Sorry for the trouble." "It's okay." Yi fought beautifully. Kwang San said, and walked directly to Tang San and fired a shot. Because he didn't use his soul skills, Tang San died. Just kidding, as the bullet sank in, Tang San could feel everything coming back, the 8 spider lances, his right hand, and the most important clear sky hammer. Yi came directly to Yi-Han, and then fell directly into Yi-Han's arms. Looking at the unconscious Yi, Yi-Han hugged Yi with some helplessness and heartache. In fact, there was no need to use the first release for the 1 through 7. But this might be Yi's pride, and Yi-Han would not stop it. This was respect and trust for Yi. Compared with other people's amazement at Yi's ability, Yi-Han knew that the reason why Yi could chop Tang San into pieces was that Tang San and Yi had similar soul power. If the level is higher, such as titled Douluo, although the soul is still fragile, it is not so easy to shatter. However, Yi-Han will not say this. Moreover, as Yi's soul power is getting higher and higher, titled Douluo can be shattered with just one sword. Chapter 91 Heading to Wuhan City. After Yi completed the 1 through 7 match, the official quota of participants was also determined. They were the seeded players of the Xiandao Empire, the Xiandao Royal Academy, the first-placed Dimension Academy, the second-placed Shrek Academy, and the third-placed Yuanshan Feng Academy. Why is it called Yuanshan Feng Academy? Just when the Dimension Academy officially won the first place, the Four Elements Academy was also officially merged. Of course, this was only temporary. Renamed the Four Elements Team, the name is very easy to understand. The participants are Feng Xiaoshan as the captain, Yu Xiangxin as the vice-captain, the control department Shui Binger, Lei Dong, the strong attack department Hou Wushuang and Hou Wu, and the agile attack department Lei Tian. These are the expected main forces, and the other people of the Four Elements will naturally follow to Wuhan City as substitutes. Next, please invite today's champion, the Dimension Academy, to give a speech. Everyone looked at Yi-Han. Regarding this speech, Yi-Han really didn't know what to say, and looked around at the people around him. It turned out that Duongtang pointed at him excitedly, saying that he wanted to go up. Yi-Han didn't think twice and just passed him by. If Duongtang went up, it would be troublesome. Forget it. I'll go up by myself. Yi-Han sighed and walked towards the ring weakly. The host also handed the microphone to Yi-Han very skillfully. This is the Captain Yi-Han from Dimension Academy. So far, he has not mastered the 3rd and 4th soul skills, but he defeated 7 people from Xianshu Academy. His strength is mysterious and powerful. As the host introduced, Yi-Han always felt that the people from Xianshu Academy looked at him unfriendly. Seeing this, Yi-Han quickly coughed and interrupted the host who was trying to attract hatred for him. It seems that Captain Yi-Han can't wait to speak. Let Captain Yi-Han say a few words next. Seeing everyone looking at him, Yi-Han said lazily, "Hello everyone, I am the captain of the Dimension Academy. In this advanced Soul Master competition, I feel that everyone is quite strong and powerful. I hope that everyone's Soul Master journey will be smoother and smoother in the future. After Yuhan finished speaking, the audience was obviously disappointed. Such high-sounding words were obviously not what they wanted to hear. The host also saw the disappointment of the audience. As a professional, the host asked directly, I wonder what Captain Yihan thinks of Blazing Academy, Thunder Academy, Divine Wind Academy, Xianshu Academy, and Shrek Academy. As soon as this question came out, everyone looked at Yihan expectantly. Yihan was also a little confused. He was speechless about the host's hatred. No comment, they are all very strong. They are worthy opponents. But, Dimension Academy used different players to complete the feat of 1-on-7 respectively. With this result, does Captain Yihan also think that the opponent is very strong? Yihan really exclaimed, wow, it's a pity that this host doesn't become a reporter. Is the question so sharp? This. Maybe we are stronger. But the students of these academies are still very strong. Okay, don't ask any more, I'm leaving. Yihan said and stuffed a microphone directly into the host's hand. Ahem. Yihan, aren't you going to thank someone in the end? Or say something? The host hinted at Yihan crazily. Yihan also saw that according to convention, he should indeed thank the Xiandao Empire and then say something polite about helping the empire get honors. But now Yihan's impression of the Xiandao Empire has been reduced to the lowest. He poached people from here and acted high and mighty. Even so, he still had a good face. There's nothing much to say. I'll just thank my teammates and Uncle Zhao. Yihan said and left the host's platform. Emperor Zuyi's face was livid on the high platform. Yihan still didn't give any face after the host reminded him. Isn't this just for him to see? Fortunately, nothing big happened in this action. Emperor Zuyi just said a few words and left directly. The time for the high-level Soul Master competition was still quite tight. After only one night's rest in Xiandao Imperial City, the Xiandao Empire arranged a carriage to send everyone to Wuhan City early the next morning. The entire team, in addition to teachers and students from various colleges, also had a large number of Xiandao Empire soldiers and the Xiandao Empire's Prince Zhu King. After all, as the Emperor, Emperor Zhu could not go to Wuhan City. At this time, as the Xiandao royal family, they must send someone in charge. As the Prince, Zhu King is naturally the best choice. Compared to traveling by yourself, riding a carriage is definitely much slower, but the comfort level is also rising sharply. Yihan still remembered that a big thing happened on the way to Wuhan City. Sarath reported Tang San's clear sky hammer, which led to Bibi Dong sending people to kill Tang San. He didn't know whether Wuhan Hall would send people to come after his arrival. Excuse me, is Lord Yihan here? I have something to ask Lord Yihan. Just when Yihan was thinking about it, a voice suddenly came from the side of the carriage. Yihan looked at the window and saw Zhu King, who represented the Xiandao Empire, looking at Yihan politely. If Yihan couldn't tell whether Zhu King was Jinringsu 6 or 7 years ago, then Zhu King must have been completely replaced by Jinringsu by now. Come in. Yihan also wanted to know what Jinringsu was up to. The carriage was quite spacious. The Dimension Academy was not like other academies, with so many substitute teachers. Yihan had 7 people on his side, and Zhao Lei was riding a horse outside. I wonder what the Crown Prince wants to talk to me about. Yihan asked with a smile. Zhu King smiled politely and said, I was asked by my father. The previous incident with Prince Zuxing was not the intention of the Xiandao imperial family. Please don't mind it, Lord Yihan. Yihan looked at Zhu King with deep eyes. Yihan was 100% sure that this sentence was just an excuse. Emperor Zhu would never let Zhu King say that. Let's talk about this later. Yihan knew very well that in another 6 or 7 years, the entire Xiandao imperial family would be controlled by Zhu King. I see that Lord Yihan has only 8 people in his group. Don't you have other teachers or students in your Dimension Academy? Yes. But after this high-level Soul Master competition is over, our Dimension Academy will expand and start recruiting students. If His Royal Highness the Crown Prince has any good students, remember to introduce them to us. Yihan said evasively. The two talked nonsense for a while, but didn't find out anything, so they had to give up in the end. Be careful when you go to Wuhan City this time. I feel that something bad may happen this time. Yihan said cautiously. What's wrong, Brother Han? Is there something wrong with Zhu King? Han Zhou asked in confusion. I can't see anything at the moment, but some things are hard to say. Xiao Feng, Prepare your skills to return to the guild over there. Don't make any mistakes. Maybe we have to run away this time. Yihan couldn't say for sure, it was just a feeling. It was very quiet along the way, no one attacked, which made the journey much faster. Come to think of it, the target of the Spirit Hall has shifted from Tang San to Yihan. It can be said that the main plan of the Spirit Hall is aimed at Yihan. Tang San was just a byproduct. For Yihan, Bi Bidong persuaded Jin Daoliu to stop Di Don, which shows that Yihan is more important than Tang San. In order not to alert the enemy, the Spirit Hall will naturally not send people to intercept and kill everyone, which will only alert the enemy. Chapter 92 3 Soul Bones. When Yihan and his companions arrived at Wuhan City, they were warmly received by Wuhan Hall. They arranged accommodation and sent special guides. It can be said that they provided the best service, which must be more than 100 times better than the Xiandao Empire. Yihan also heard that Wuhan Hall attached great importance to this finals. During the promotion competition, Wuhan City had already opened up a place as the venue for the finals of this year's All Continent Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition. At the same time, Wuhan City announced a decree that during the start of the competition, non-soul masters were not allowed to enter to watch the competition, even nobles were not allowed. This made the finals more mysterious. As for whether the civilians would have any complaints, Wuhan Hall was equivalent to a godlike existence in Wuhan City. Anyone who dared to object might be invited to have tea the next day. It was the first time for Yihan and his companions to come to Wuhan City. Naturally, they had to take a good look around. As for the guide, Yihan did not bring it with him. As soon as he went out, he met the current Four Elements Academy. They greeted each other. Everyone was going to visit Wuhan City, so they went together. It has to be said that compared to Xiandao Imperial City, the order of Wuhan City is more perfect. The Knights Templar patrolling on the road also demonstrate the absolute control of Wuhan Palace over Wuhan City. As Yihan was walking, he suddenly saw an acquaintance. The person on the opposite side also saw Yihan and came over excitedly. Yu Xiangxin on the side also found the person coming over. He was delighted and walked over. Xianheng, long time no see. As a result, Yu Xianheng completely ignored Yu Xiangxin and walked past Yu Xiangxin and came to Yihan. Long time no see. Yihan, I heard that you participated in the Advanced Soul Master competition, and I knew I would meet you here. Before Yihan spoke, Yu Xiangxin grabbed Yu Xianheng's shoulders. Boy, didn't you hear me calling you? Yu Xianheng turned around and looked at Yu Xiangxin with excitement. Cousin Xiangxin, you are here too, it's great. In this way, our Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family will have 2 people participating in the Advanced Soul Master competition. Grandpa must be very happy. You kid finally saw me. Yu Xiangxin said unhappily. Yu Xianheng smiled awkwardly. His attention was on Yihan before, and he didn't notice Yu Xiangxin for a while. But, didn't they say that Thunder Academy was eliminated? Yu Xiangxin, who was no longer angry, now had a cerebral hemorrhage. Although he knew that his cousin had a low EQ, he was not like this. I haven't seen you for many years, and you are still so honest. Yihan laughed out loud. Yihan saw that Yu Xiangxin wanted to scold him, but didn't know how to start for a while. Now the single attribute academies are temporarily merged, and your brother is among them. Yihan explained with a smile. Yu Xianheng suddenly realized it, and then said excitedly, Brother Xiangxin, have you ever fought with Yihan and the others? Are they very strong? I wrote you a letter at that time, have you read it? The wound was torn open, let alone Yu Xiangxin. Feng Xiaoshan and others behind him were a little embarrassed. Fought, but never. That's right, I didn't fight. I tell you, I saw it clearly when I went to the Dimension Academy. The 7 of them fought against the Poison Douluo and the Jade Flute Douluo. Although the 2 crowns suppressed their strength, they were also very scary. Okay. Facing Yu Xianheng's chattering, Yihan said that he couldn't stay here any longer and ran away directly. Yu Xiangxin frowned and said with some ill intentions, why didn't you write about this in the letter? I didn't write it. Yu Xianheng was asked this question with some uncertainty. After all, it has been a long time, and it is possible that he really didn't write it. Yu Xiangxin was so angry that he laughed. At the beginning, his grandfather and Yu Xianheng told him that it would be better for him to admit defeat when he saw Yihan. Yu Xiangxin was so unconvinced that he felt that this was an insult to him. But if you had told me earlier that Yihan and the others were fighting against the title Douluo, Why would I fight? Wouldn't it be better to just give up? It doesn't matter whether I write it or not. I can't beat them, it's the same. Yu Xianheng smiled embarrassedly. You are not from the Dimension Academy, why are you so proud? Yu Xianxin asked speechlessly. Yu Xianheng just smiled at this. After all, Yu Xianheng, who had fought with Yi Han before, knew how powerful Yi Han and others were. Do you have any gossip? Tell me now. In the end, Yu Xianheng had no choice but to take Yu Xianxin and others to a restaurant. Of course, the money was paid by Yu Xianxin. Okay, I've also treated you to a meal. It's time to tell me. Yu Xianxin asked unhappily. Yu Xianheng heard this, looked around, and said seriously, Grandpa and I also told you about this matter. You'd better not go out. Seeing the serious Yu Xianheng, the others became very serious. Do you know about the beast tide in the Xingdao Great Forest? Is it the beast tide that is said to be the most terrifying in 100 years? Shui Binger was very interested in this matter, so she went to find out. That's right. Because the beast tide was too powerful, the tidal Dalos from various forces entered the Xingdao Great Forest to check it out. As a result, they had a conflict with Yi Han and his group. There were 5 tidal Dalos who entered at that time. And Yu Xiao Daluo and Poison Daluo were not there. This was the first time that everyone heard of this kind of thing, especially when they heard that there were 5 tidal Dalos in total. They all took a breath of cold air. Usually, let alone tidal Dalos, even soul Dalos are rarely seen. Yi Han had a conflict with 5 tidal Dalos. One of them is Grandpa. And then? Yu Xianxin asked excitedly. Yes, one of them is Grandpa. When Grandpa told me at the beginning, he also said that it was fortunate that he didn't take action. The tidal Daluo who took the initiative to take action was directly killed by Yi Han. And it was killed instantly. After Yu Xianheng's words fell, everyone's pupils shrank, and the first reaction was that it was impossible. Are you sure? Feng Xiaoshan asked in horror. This is what my grandpa said, and I went to find out. There were 5 tidal Dalos who went in at that time, and there were indeed 4 when they came out. Yu Xianheng said seriously. After saying this, everyone present fell silent. After all, this was no small matter. They had already overestimated Yi Han's strength infinitely. They didn't expect that Yi Han would kill a tidal Daluo with just a wave of his hand. What do you think, Yi Han's 3rd and 4th soul skills, will it work? Shui Binger asked uncertainly, and everyone thought it was really possible. The 4th soul skills of the people from the Dimension Academy were so terrifying. Why didn't Yi Han use the 3rd and 4th soul skills? Is it possible that they were too powerful? In other words, we don't have the strength to make him use the 3rd and 4th soul skills. Feng Xiaoshan couldn't accept it, but combined with what Yu Xianheng said, everything seemed to be logical. The 4 Elements Academy, which was hit hard, was a little at a loss, and finally didn't feel like shopping anymore, so they left one after another. On the other side, Yi Han, who was shopping in Wuhan City, could clearly feel that there was always a vague aura around him, observing him. Although it was very hidden, a person's soul could never be changed. Yi told this matter in the group as soon as possible. Don't worry, even if the Spirit Hall wants to attack us, it's not now. Yi Han was quite sure about this. Because someone followed him, he took a quick walk and returned to the resting place. Early the next morning, the Spirit Hall issued the competition process and rules of this finals, as well as the rewards. In the first round of the finals, Xiandao Royal Academy, Xingluo Royal Academy and the Golden Generation of the Spirit Hall will have a bye and go directly to the second round. The other teams will draw lots for the elimination round. There is no point system. As long as you lose, you will be eliminated. It is very cruel, but very efficient. The early stage of the game is a team competition until there are only 3 teams left, and there will be changes in the schedule. Another point that must be mentioned is the reward. The Spirit Hall is also generous this year, directly giving out 3,000-year-old soul bones as rewards. Soul bones are scarce goods no matter what era, and some brothers who have been together for life and death may fight for a soul bone. Among the current tidal Daluo, there are many who have 1 soul bone, but you must know that everyone can equip 6 soul bones, and even tidal Daluo has such a great demand for soul bones. It can be seen how much the soul bones are attractive to everyone. The Spirit Hall took out 3 pieces at a time, which also demonstrated the confidence of the Spirit Hall. After all, there are 3 Soul Kings in the Golden Generation of the Spirit Hall this year. Many people say that these 3 soul bones are prepared for them, but they have gone through some small processes. Chapter 93. Has you always been so brave? In the huge venue opened by the Spirit Hall in Wuhan City, all the participating teams gathered together. Except for the 3 seeded teams, all other teams needed to draw lots for the elimination round. If we draw lots, of course Xia Feng will go up. I have never been convinced by anyone in this regard, only Xia Feng. When Yuhan heard that it was something that depended on luck, he directly recommended Ben Zhou. The others also nodded in agreement. In the past few years, Ben Zhou has used his strength to tell them that good luck is also part of strength. Boss Dai. Have you washed your hands? Draw a good lot, understand. Ma Hongjin was really anxious at this moment. There was no pressure from the seeded players in the first round, but there were other pressures. Originally, the Dimension Academy of Yuhan and others was an indescribable pressure. As a result, since the single attribute academies were merged, their strength was raised so much at once. Dai Mubei was also a little annoyed by what he said. Don't talk nonsense, don't I know? How could he not know who can be drawn and who can't be drawn? This is not something he can control. Okay fatty, don't embarrass Boss Dai. And Boss Dai, although I don't know why, I still want to ask, why have you been so irritable since you came here? Tang San felt that something was wrong with Dai Mubei the moment he came in. Dai Mubei was silent for a moment, then sighed. Let's talk about it when we get back. Tang San nodded, and felt relieved. The most frightening thing at this time is that you are unwilling to talk and take everything on your own. Only when you are willing to speak out can everyone solve it together. Soon after Po Bibidong said a few casual words, the drawing of lots began. The Dimension Academy drew the Ferocious Beast Academy on the Xingluo Empire side, an unfamous academy, but to be able to pass the layers of selection and enter here, it must have certain abilities. As the opponent of the Dimension Academy appeared, those who knew about it in the Xiandao Empire breathed a sigh of relief and cast a look of pity on the Ferocious Beast Academy. The students and teachers of the Ferocious Beast Academy were all confused, and they always felt that they were underestimated. As the first Ferocious Beast Academy to enter here in the Xingluo Empire, this can be tolerated, and this of course cannot be tolerated. Boy! What's that look in your eyes? Don't you want me to dig your eyes out for you? As the captain of the Fierce Beast Academy, Ba Xiang yelled at Yu Xiangxin in dissatisfaction. Yu Xiangxin frowned, then thought of his opponent and said calmly, if you can advance to the next round, we will discuss this issue again. You. Ba Xiang didn't expect Yu Xiangxin to say this. Tisk, there are a bunch of women on the opposite side, and there is only one muscular man with small arms and legs. I can send them away in a few moves. Seeing Ba Xiang so arrogant, the people on the Xiandao Empire side took a breath of cold air. Interview, has he always been so brave? Ma Hongjin came out from nowhere and came to a girl from the Fierce Beast Academy. Oh, what do you mean? Is the captain wrong? The girl asked with some confusion. I admire you. Feng Xiaoshan expressed his admiration when he saw that the entire Fierce Beast Academy had a kind of mysterious confidence. Seeing so many people being sarcastic, Ba Xiang shouted irritably, today I will beat up the Dimension Academy and let you see. Yes, yes, yes. You are right. We know. Seeing that they were about to fight, Hou agreed with Ba Xiang somewhat helplessly, and then left with a few people. The draw over there was finally over, and the game officially began. The first to appear were of course the Fierce Beast Academy and the Dimension Academy. The students of both academies were already standing on the field. Unlike the Xiandao Empire, there were no spectators in the Wuhan Hall, so there was naturally no host. There was only a Templar Knight as the referee. The words were also very simple, the game begins. After that, he went straight off the field without a word of nonsense. Little girl. You are the so-called Dimension Academy. With your weak arms and legs, you are still the first in the Xiandao Empire. It seems that the Xiandao Empire is not doing well. Although Ba Xiang was arrogant at first, he was not provocative. But since the draw, the eyes of the people in the Xiandao Empire looked at him with pity. After all, their Fierce Beast Academy was also the first in the Xingluo Empire's multiple selections. Such eyes were outrageous. Facing Ba Xiang's provocation, Yihan smiled faintly and walked forward. Seeing Yihan walking forward, Esdeath and others turned around and left the competition field. The referee on the side didn't know how to make a judgment for a while. After all, for Dongtang's third soul skill, there is no such thing as off-field. The people of the Xiandao Empire looked at the Fierce Beast Academy as if they were watching a good show. What do you mean? Ba Xiong was stunned and asked with some confusion. A large amount of golden halo appeared behind Yihan, enveloping the entire Fierce Beast Academy. For a while, Ba Xiong and others activated their martial arts. Just by listening to the name, we know that the students of the Fierce Beast Academy are all beast spirits, and they are not gentle animals, but brutal beasts. However, when the treasure is launched as if it is free, everything is over. Even if your defense is strong, you are powerless in the face of such an attack. What's more, Yihan's soul power is level 44, and the opponent's highest level is only 43, which is naturally more difficult to resist. The people on the Xiandao Empire side looked as if it was expected, and there was no surprise at all. The people of the Xingluo Empire and the Wuhan Hall were different. This person named Yihan, the soul ring on his body is not flickering at all, but this attack is too terrifying. Is it a skill of the soul bone? A charming girl frowned and said. It seems that this game will not be boring. The handsome boy next to the girl said calmly. Who cares? He is just a soul master, and he is stronger than us. Nana, let's go shopping in the afternoon. The man in red on the other side was a little disdainful. The three people were not far from the Pope, and the identities of the three people were about to be revealed. They were the participants of this session of the Spirit Hall, and they were also the so-called Golden Generation. The strength of these three people was the strength of the Soul King, which was also the origin of this title. Even the so-called three soul bones were also the predetermined things of the three people, but they were given in a different way. They came here because Bibi Dong asked them to come here, and it was a mandatory requirement. They were asked to observe Yihan and others, and it was also very clear that although Yihan's soul power was not as good as theirs, his combat power was definitely not weaker than theirs. Their primary goal was to defeat the Dimension Academy. When these words were spoken, the three people were a little unconvinced, but Bibi Dong's words could not be refuted. Ziyu and Hulina observed very seriously, but Yan felt that Bibi Dong was making a fuss. 3 Soul Kings and 4 Soul Masters, couldn't they beat the other side's 7 Soul Masters? Yan, did you listen to the Pope? Something big will happen in the Spirit City recently, don't run around. Hulina on the side didn't say anything, and Ziyu, as a brother, rejected Yan coldly. Yan scratched his head in annoyance, it's all these people's fault. They are not very strong, but they still want to participate in this competition. If possible, I will eliminate them all in one day. Okay. It's just a few days. Stay calm. The following results are also out. Hulina said calmly. At this moment, the bombing of the king's treasure in the arena finally ended. The blood on the body of the Fierce Beast Academy was finally over. The 7 people fell to the ground without any rules. If Yihan hadn't deliberately avoided the vital points, the Fierce Beast Academy would definitely have all died. The overwhelming victory was a blow to the Xingluo Empire. After all, the Fierce Beast Academy was already the strongest team except for the seeded Xingluo Royal Academy. They lost so badly. What if they met the Dimension Academy later? It was also at this moment that the academies of the Xingluo Empire finally realized that the eyes and attitudes of the people in the Xiandao Empire were completely correct. For the Xiandao Empire, it was reasonable for Yihan to win. He could hit the Xingluo Empire hard, and the people of the Xiandao Empire were naturally happy. Yu Xiangxin, who was on the side, looked at the miserable Ba Xiong and felt comfortable. The game is over, the winner is Dimension Academy. The Templar Knight was conscientious and said, Here I will tell you something, I am a boy, I hope you don't make the mistake in the future. Otherwise, I can't guarantee what the consequences will be. In order to avoid trouble, Yihan prepared to make plans early. In the Xiandao Empire, it was because of the lack of prevention that a fool named Hou Shuang appeared. If another fool appeared in Wuhan City, Yihan would not be able to bear it. Sure enough, after Yihan finished speaking, there were many wailing sounds and unbelievable eyes around. He is a boy. Yan on the high platform was a little unbelievable. Ziyu, who was indifferent, was also a little surprised. When he first saw Yihan's face, he was shocked and even sighed how there could be such a beauty in the world. As a normal man, he would not be moved by Yihan who looked like this. Either he had someone in his heart, or he was a eunuch. Ziyu was naturally moved by Yihan. However, Ziyu's concentration was still very good, but now the original excitement had completely disappeared. Even thinking about her own heartbeat for a man was an indescribable nausea. Stop talking. Let's go. The Dimension Academy competition is over. At present, it seems that one person is against 7 people. The strength of the Dimension Academy should not be underestimated. Ziyu turned around and left directly. Yan on the side couldn't help it. Seeing Ziyu taking Hulina away, he naturally followed happily. Chapter 94, Xingluo Royal Academy steps on the landmine. The competition process of the day was relatively loose, and there were not many participating colleges. After the first round, the day's schedule was over. The strength of the Xiandao Empire was good, and all stayed and successfully advanced. Since the First Beast College was killed by Yi Han, the Xingluo Empire seemed to have become depressed. Now the Xingluo Empire only has the seed team Xingluo Royal College, which is rare in the past years. Hey! Isn't this Brother Mubei? I didn't expect to see you here. A handsome man with golden hair like Dai Mubei stopped Shrek, who was going back. Tang San keenly discovered that the source of Dai Mubei's irritability was the person in front of him, and his eyes instantly became sharp. Why don't you say anything? Shouldn't you say hello when you see your big brother? Davis, get out of my way. Dai Mubei said with a bad face. Zhu's Huayan on the side came out at the right time. Why is my little brother so irritable? Did my good sister's Huking go to find you? Did she see you? You are still as pretentious as before. Zhu's Huking didn't indulge Zhu's Huayan. Everyone in Shrek also saw that this person was not friendly. Although it was not clear what grudges Dai Mubei and Zhu's Huking had against the 2 people in front of them, as a member of the Shrek 7 Devils, they would not stand idly by. Get out of the way, get out of the way, a good dog doesn't block the road. Ma Hongjin said unceremoniously. Davis's face sank, and he said in a bad tone, Fatty, you'd better not get involved in some things. Being called a fat man, Ma Hongjin's body ignited a trace of fire, and his martial spirit was a little riotous. Tang San grabbed Ma Hongjin, then turned his head and smiled indifferently. If you have time, why not think about how to enter the finals? After all, you are the last seedling of the Star Luo Empire. Tang San's tone did not look down on them at all, and even showed concern, but he directly pointed at them. It can be said that he said it wherever he felt uncomfortable. In short, the damage was not high, but the insult was extremely strong. Davis and Zhu's Huayan can be said to be members of the royal family of the Star Luo Empire. The Star Luo Empire is indeed very weak this year. HMPH. You don't need to worry about this kind of thing. I will naturally lead my team to the finals. Davis snorted and said unhappily. Tang San shrugged casually and bypassed Davis. The others followed him. Soon, everyone in Shrek came to their own residence. Boss Dai, tell me. What happened? Dai Mubei took a deep breath and spoke slowly. This is a fight between families. Zhu Qing and I are both from the Xingluo Empire. I told you last time that we belong to 2 major families respectively. The martial spirits representing the 2 major families are the White Tiger and the Civet Cat. Because the 2 martial spirits are highly compatible, the 2 families have been married for generations, me and Zhu Qing, Davis and Zhu's Huayan. Oh my god, although I am against arranged marriages, why am I so envious? Ma Hongjin said excitedly. Don't interrupt. Boss Dai, this seems to sound normal. Ningrongrong interrupted Ma Hongjin, who was daydreaming on the side, and turned her head to look at the 2 people in confusion. Dai Mubei sighed. Only the most outstanding people in the family can become the future heirs. Neither Zhuking nor I are the legitimate sons of the family. Oscar thought it was something else when he heard it, and said with a smile, then don't give up the inheritance. Living with Dai Laoda and Zhuking for this period of time, you don't seem to be people who fight for power and profit. Zhu's Huking and Dai Mubei looked at each other and said bitterly, if I could give up, I would have given up long ago. The special rules of the family make us, Davis, and Zhu's Huayan must be enemies. Once the heir is determined, the other heirs will be directly wiped out to prevent civil strife in the future. So from the beginning, what we are competing for is not the inheritance, but our own lives. After Dai Mubei finished speaking, the entire Shrek Academy became very quiet. No one expected that there would be such a perverted rule. It can be said to be crazy. Davis is 6 years older than me, and Zhu's Huayan is 7 years older than Zhuking. In fact, from the beginning, the age gap represents our outcome, but fortunately, after meeting you, I see a lot of hope. Dai Mubei cheered up a little and said with a smile. Tang San's eyes were deep. That's perfect. If we meet Xingluo Royal Academy later, we don't need to worry about hiding our strength, just go all out. But, Master's order. Daimube said hesitantly. Teacher is just increasing our chances of winning in the end, but if even the partners we spend every day with are going to get into trouble, what's the point of winning the final game? Tang San saw this very clearly. Yes. Boss Dai, you took such good care of me before, I will definitely take the lead. I hate that Davis. Ma Hongjin patted his chest and stood up and said. Daimube and Zhu Xiuqing were also a move, which also gave them a lot of hope. At this moment, Flanders pushed the door in, looked at the passionate little monsters, and asked with a puzzled look, what's wrong? Nothing. Dean, who are our opponents tomorrow? Several people smiled at each other, and did not answer Flanders' questions. Flanders didn't care, but said with a smug look on his face, as for the draw, it's up to me. Our opponent tomorrow is Shyandao Royal Academy. Your defeated opponent, how excited are you? Everyone in Shrek was delighted. After all, among the remaining teams, they knew Shyandao Royal Academy inside and out, which was pretty good. Hey, teacher, do you know who Xingluo Royal Academy will play against? Everyone was still quite concerned about Ma Hongjin's question. Flanders laughed and said with some gloating, to be honest, Xingluo Empire's luck is really bad this year, you know. Tomorrow they will play against Dimension Academy. It seems that Xingluo Empire has fallen into the hands of Yuhan and others this year. As Flanders revealed the answer, the atmosphere suddenly became a little weird. After all, Xingluo Royal Academy could not beat Dimension Academy at all. Then Xingluo Royal Academy was eliminated, and in the end, it didn't even have the chance to play against them. What can I say? We were excited for a long time before, but the opponent stepped on the landmine. I can't accept it. Oscar said speechlessly. Ma Hongjin was more optimistic. That's better. Let's go, Brother San. Let's go find Yuhan and the others and ask them to be more ruthless tomorrow. Everyone's mouth twitched slightly after hearing what Ma Hongjin said. Tang San said he would not participate. Since Tang San did not participate, Xiao Wu would not participate. However, Ning Rongrong was eager to try. After all, Davis and Zhu Xiuqing were too arrogant today. Let's go. With Ning Rongrong taking the lead, the Shrek 7 Devils had to follow. At this moment, Yihan also received the opponent teams of the competition. When he saw Xingluo Royal Academy, he was still quite confused, but it didn't matter who he played against. Or it would be good to play against Xingluo Royal Academy. Yihan still remembers that bastard Dali. Yihan. Yihan knew who came in without listening, and asked speechlessly, why are you here? Of course I have something to talk to you about. Ning Rongrong said with a wicked smile, I remember that you told us in the starred out Great Forest that you had a grudge against the White Tiger sect. Now we have a chance, do you want to do it? Yihan knew Ning Rongrong's mentality at the first time, and said with a smile, you mean Xingluo Royal Academy, right? That's right, tomorrow you will play against Xingluo Royal Academy. The captain and vice captain there are your enemies. I ask you to be ruthless tomorrow. Ning Rongrong said bluntly. Yihan thought that he had no intention of holding back tomorrow, so it didn't matter if he agreed now. How ruthless do you want to be? This sentence made everyone happy. After all, it meant that Yihan agreed. How many types do you have here? My business here is very mature. Physical ruthlessness will directly cripple people. After all, no one is allowed to die in the competition. Psychological ruthlessness, I promise that when they see me in the future, they will regret coming to this world. Yihan's words made everyone gasp. After all, this is not ordinary ruthlessness, the first word is crippled. Ahem. Let's not talk about physical things, I will solve it myself. Daimube coughed and said. Yihan nodded to show his understanding. Okay, in fact, you are also my enemy, but next time you go back, bring me a message, this time I will help you leave an indelible impression on Davis. What words? Daimube didn't say anything. Zhu Xiuqing asked first. Yihan was filled with murderous intent. Please tell Dali a message for me. Tell him to eat well and work early. In less than 5 years, I will kill him. Everyone in Shrek trembled. After all, Yihan's murderous intent was released without reservation. Daimube was also thinking about how Dali had offended Yihan. After all, he had not been back for a long time. He didn't know many things. I know. I will definitely bring it to you. Daimube said seriously. Yihan nodded with satisfaction. In that case, you can wait and see tomorrow. Chapter 95, Sending Heads. On the second morning, Yihan and others arrived at the competition venue early. Since he had promised Tang San and the others, Yihan would not break his promise. As for how to leave an indelible impression on Davis, that was too simple. With Davis's invincible attitude, Yihan would stimulate him a little and show his strength. Davis would definitely collapse. After all, he had been smooth sailing since childhood. You are the Dimension Academy that defeated the Fierce Beast Academy. It doesn't look very strong. Today I will clear the name of our Douluo Empire. Just as Yihan was thinking, a proud voice came from behind. Yihan didn't even need to look. There was only one Douluo Royal Academy left in the Douluo Empire, and it could only be Davis. Turning his head to face Davis with an arrogant face, Yihan really didn't know what to say. After all, the Dimension Academy and the Douluo Royal Academy had nothing in common. The Douluo Empire's team would be eliminated because of their lack of strength, but it seemed that Davis was now saying that he had to take absolute responsibility for the poor performance of the Douluo Empire this year. Hello, do we know each other? Yihan asked with a smile. Davis lost his momentum, and then said with an unhappy face, "It doesn't matter if we didn't know each other before, but now we know each other. My name is Davis, the future emperor of the Douluo Empire, and the biggest winner today. You will be trampled under my feet." Yihan heard this, but he was not annoyed. He said calmly, "So you are the prince of the Douluo Empire. Nice to meet you, but unfortunately, I am not from the Douluo Empire, so I don't recognize the prince of the Douluo Empire. Now you are too noisy, please move aside." Davis was very useful to Yihan's first half of his words. Although he had not completely won the battle for the prince, he was basically sure of it. Yihan called him the prince, which made him feel comfortable. But he didn't expect Yihan to turn the gun around and change the style directly. Davis was like a punch on cotton, unable to exert any strength. If you come to the territory of the Douluo Empire in the future, you will pay the price for what you said. Yihan chuckled, "You made me laugh. If I were to go to the Douluo Empire, would I notify you? Or would you send someone to guard us every day? Believe it or not, if I enter the Douluo Empire and walk around in front of you, you won't be able to find me. This is the fact. The Douluo Empire is so big that the Douluo royal family can't be comprehensive in every place. If Yihan really wants to go in without being noticed, no one will be able to find him." After Yihan finished speaking, the students and teachers of the surrounding academies also burst into laughter. At this moment, the laughter around Davis felt very harsh, especially Daimube from Shrek Academy, who was also among the people who laughed at him. "Boy, you have guts," Yihan said lightly, and then looked at Davis in disbelief. "Don't you have any? Then your problem is a bit big." Yihan's words spanned too much, and the people around him didn't react for a while. Then, no one knew who took the lead, and there was a burst of laughter, and they looked at Davis with strange eyes. Does Miss Zhu's Huayan know about this matter? After all, this kind of thing is still quite important. Yihan was unreasonable and said with a smile. Davis only felt that his brain was congested and he couldn't help but take action. Zhu's Huayan grabbed Davis. If Davis took action now, Douluo Royal Academy would be directly disqualified. "I hope we won't find you when you go to Douluo Empire, otherwise what awaits you in the end is endless pursuit," Zhu's Huayan said coldly. After hearing what Zhu's Huayan said, Yihan's face turned cold, and he showed a completely different aura from before. "This sentence reminds me of someone who makes me very unhappy, and it happens that this person is from the Douluo Empire. And he likes to talk about the Douluo Empire all the time, and he doesn't use his brain before doing things, and he doesn't even check before he jumps out. He's as stupid as you. What's more coincidental is that his last name is also Dai." Davis and Zhu Huayan were stunned, both wondering who Yihan was talking about, but Davis felt that Yihan was making a veiled accusation in just a moment. "What do you mean? I have also heard about the struggle of the royal family of the Douluo Empire. You do seem to be the one with the most hope of becoming the prince, but you came to trouble us. Didn't you investigate our background?" After hearing what Yihan said, Davis and Zhu Huayan's hearts skipped a beat, and a bad premonition came to their minds. "I, Yihan, the founder of Dimension Academy, have the support of Poison Douluo, Jade Flute Douluo, 2 Title Douluos, several Soul Douluos, Soul Saints, and everything you said before is the situation that you can become the crown prince of the Douluo Empire. You said, with such power, if I support one of your brothers, oh, by the way, Daimube of Shrek Academy, what do you say? Guess if Daimube becomes the crown prince, will he let you go?" Yihan's words hit Davis in the face like a blow to the head. He really didn't expect that Yihan had two titled Douluo standing behind him. You have to know that the leader of the White Tiger sect is just a sole Douluo. Titled Douluos in this era are still very rare, otherwise a titled Douluo's Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family is not enough. Okay, silly boy, go play. I've never seen you come over like this to give yourself a head. Yihan said helplessly as he looked at Davis, who was a little confused. Originally, Yihan's plan was to suppress Davis in terms of strength on the field. Unexpectedly, before the game started, Davis brought Zhu's Huayin to give away his head. A few words from Yihan almost made him autistic. Davis really didn't dare to be arrogant in front of Yihan at this moment. Although he could feel that Yihan was trying to scare him, if Daimube really died because of himself, he would get the support of the two titled Douluo. At that time, there was no need to think about it. The Xingluo royal family would definitely give up on him decisively and support Daimube as the next emperor. His fate was self-evident. Shrek Academy on the other side also saw the whole process. Davis went from being arrogant and domineering at the beginning to being an autistic little prince now. I don't think we need to ask Yihan for help at all. With your big brother's personality, he rushed up and gave it away. Ninrongrong watched the whole process and said speechlessly. Daimube's mouth twitched slightly. After all, he was looking forward to it. During today's game, Davis was severely beaten by Yihan. Who would have thought that before the game started, Davis seemed to have a psychological shadow on Yihan? Do you think Yihan had planned this all along? Oscar started to play conspiracy theories. He said yesterday that Davis would be scared when he saw him. I think you're overthinking it. Yihan's character is that if someone doesn't offend me, I won't offend them. If someone offends me, I'll make him live a life worse than death. Besides, you saw that it was Davis who approached him. Tang San said with a strange look on his face. Ma Hongjin also echoed, Zioao, I also think what Brother Sam said is right. This wave is purely Davis's own death. Oscar didn't get entangled. In other words, he actually thought that Davis was a jerk, but he was just looking for some topics. Next, both sides prepare, Xingluo Royal Academy vs. Dimension Academy. I don't know if it was intentional by the Spirit Hall. For 2 consecutive days, Yihan and others were ranked first. However, Yihan didn't care about which one to go on stage. He walked onto the stage slowly. Davis trembled when he heard that the battle was about to begin. At this moment, Davis' mind was full of what he would do if Yihan asked two titled Douluo to help Daimube. You know, he could have had an absolute advantage. Because of this wave of self-explosion, the current advantage is gone. Xingluo Royal Academy, please come on stage quickly. If you don't come on stage, it will be considered as surrender. The Templar Knights on the competition field looked at the position of Xingluo Royal Academy impatiently. Captain. The other team members reminded Davis softly, and the latter came out of the negative mood. Let's go. Davis, who had no idea, led everyone to the competition field. Looking at Yihan with a cold face, Davis said awkwardly, I'm sorry about what happened before. Yihan smiled when he heard it. You and Dai Li are afraid of death in the same way. When Davis heard the name Dai Li, he immediately remembered that when he was a child, Dai Li said that he almost couldn't come back when he went to the Xiandao Empire, as if he had offended a titled Douluo. Now that Yihan mentioned it again, Davis looked at Yihan with a complicated expression. As a prince's pride, Davis couldn't let it go, but in order to survive, sometimes there is really no bottom line. The game begins. As the Templars announced the start, Davis no longer hesitated. Regardless of whether he had really offended Yihan or not, they were the only team left in the Xingluo Empire. If he lost, he would return to the Xingluo Empire in disgrace, and his position as the crown prince would still be unstable. It would be better to take a gamble. Beating Yihan would at least prove his worth. Thinking of this, Davis' eyes became firm again. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 96 Remarks on the Release. Speaking of the words of thanks for the release of the book, I actually didn't plan to write one at first, but my friend said that writing about this kind of thing would make it look very professional, so I wrote it to prove that I am very professional. First of all, this book is my debut work. Thank you very much for your support and help over the past month. My friends and my editor have helped me a lot. Secondly, I am not a full-time writer after all. I just have some ideas, and then I write them down. My main job is a job that can make me stronger. Being a programmer is really a headache. Because the company is not big, I do back-end development and part-time testing, so overtime is the norm. It's all tears to talk about it. I said so much to show that I may not be as explosive as a full-time writer. After all, time is really not abundant, but at least I can guarantee to update every day. Thank you all for your support again here. Thank you. Chapter 97 Mental Breakdown. Once a goal is set, people will have unlimited motivation. At this moment, Davis is determined to win Yuhan to keep his position, so he will naturally work harder. Open the martial soul, this game, just win, don't lose. Davis roared. Facing the somewhat hysterical Davis, all the members of Douluo Royal Academy were condensed in their hearts, and they also understood the importance of this matter to their captain. In front of the Douluo Royal Academy, which was facing a great enemy, Yuhan and others seemed to be a little leisurely, or Douluo Royal Academy could not bring pressure to Yuhan at all. Seeing this, Davis's face was livid. Zhu Huiyan's face was not very good at the moment, and nodded at Davis. Yuhan felt that the soul power of the two began to riot, and then merged. It was needless to think that it was a martial soul fusion technique. Daimubei and Zhu Zhuking had used this trick before. However, when this trick was used, other people didn't care, but the faces of the people from Xiandao Royal Academy and Shrek Academy were very strange. Until now, Yu Xianheng has never forgotten the Nether White Tiger of Shrek Academy, and naturally remembers that Ben Tiaofeng broke the Nether White Tiger that made them despair with just a big shield. I feel that your eldest brother is a little bit brainless. Ma Hongjin looked at Daimubei with a strange expression. Daimubei covered his face. Although he and Davis were not on good terms, Davis's behavior at this moment made him feel inexplicably embarrassed. In a sense, Davis's ability to touch porcelain is very strong. Oscar said speechlessly. Tang San didn't believe in such a coincidence at first, but Davis's various signs made him believe it. It can only be said that Davis is unlucky, but he always encounters the field that Yuhan is good at. This is also very strong. At this moment, Davis had no idea how stupid a decision he had made. He shouted madly, although your background may be really strong, as long as I can defeat you, I can also prove myself. Let you see, it belongs to our martial soul fusion skill. Yuhan looked at Davis with a confident face and really didn't know what to say to him. To be honest, up to now, Yuhan's plan has not yet been implemented. Davis has begun to touch him crazily, forcing him to attack him. Brother Han, are we going too far? Ben Zhou asked cautiously. Yuhan coughed. It's better to suffer a short pain than a long one. Go up and give him a quick death. Ben Zhou nodded when he heard this, and his martial spirit was activated. His skull uniform instantly turned into black armor, and he walked to the middle of the team alone. The huge netherworld white tiger and the small Ben Zhou seemed a little out of place. All the people in the Xiandao Empire also looked at Ben Zhou intently. As for the Dimension Academy, Ben Zhou should be the most unfamiliar one to them so far. He has basically not moved in the team battle, has not played in the individual competition, and has basically no soul skill information. It can only be judged from the martial spirit that Ben Zhou is a defensive spirit master. This may also be the reason why the major colleges and forces have not done special research on Ben Zhou. After all, a defensive spirit master can't go to heaven. Yuhan, you better not regret it. This is a martial soul fusion skill. Don't expect me to hold back at the end. If anything happens to this little girl, I will not be responsible. Davis saw Ben Zhou standing up and roared with the gritted teeth. However, Yuhan did not say anything at all, just looked at Davis quietly. Seeing this, Davis gritted his teeth, his eyes bloodshot. If you die, blame Yuhan. Facing the rushing nether white tiger, Ben Zhou smashed the Dark Knight shield hard on the ground, and the broken ground showed the weight of the Dark Knight shield. First soul skill, evil food. As Ben Zhou soul power was mobilized, an evil ghost came into contact with a nether white tiger from the Dark Knight shield, constantly pulling, biting, and devouring. No matter how the nether white tiger struggled, it was useless. It was completely futile. It could only be swallowed and then slowly disappeared. The whole competition field was silent. Those who knew were not surprised at all, but those who didn't know only felt their hearts beat hard. What happened? Ho Wu swallowed her saliva and looked at the competition venue in disbelief. Where's the martial soul fusion skill? Well, it seems to have been swallowed. Feng Xiaoshan answered uncertainly. Not only the teams from the Xiandao Empire, but also the golden generation of the Wuhan Hall who came to watch the game showed a solemn expression. The martial soul fusion skill was swallowed just like that. Isn't it a bit too ridiculous? Yan looked at Ziyu on the side with some uncertainty. This person is a huge threat. Hulina said solemnly. Is her first soul skill specifically designed to deal with the martial soul fusion skill? If it is true, it really restrains us. Ziyu also nodded. If it is really aimed at the martial soul fusion skill, then he and Hulina's martial soul fusion skill naturally cannot be used. You must know that the martial soul fusion skill can definitely be used as a trump card, but Ben Tiaofeng has now cracked a martial soul fusion skill with ease, which is the most unacceptable. Let's take a look. His Holiness the Pope is right. This Dimension Academy is my rival. This time Yan did not refute Ziyu, but nodded in agreement. Compared to the surprise outside the field, Davis was kneeling on the ground in the field, with only disbelief. His strongest move disappeared without even a splash. How could he accept it? How is it possible? This is a martial soul fusion technique. The members of Xingluo Royal Academy were also a little bit unbelievable. With this move, they were invincible, and it can even be said that they were invincible in the Xingluo Empire. Unexpectedly, the first game after coming to Wuhan City would be cracked, and it was cracked so easily. Surrender. From this move, can't you see the gap between us? Yuhan said with a faint smile. Impossible. I haven't lost yet, but the martial soul fusion technique was broken. I am a level 47 soul master. Davis shouted hysterically, completely unable to accept the fact that he had failed. Yuhan shook his head. Yuanzu's Iron soul power is basically exhausted. What can you use to win? It's up to you. Yuhan said, turned around and left directly. His steps were neither fast nor slow, and he looked noble and elegant. Just like the situation on the first day against a fierce beast academy, only Esdeath, Dongtang and Liu were left on the field. No, you can't leave. I haven't lost yet. Davis just took a step forward, and a member of Xingluo Royal Academy flew out from beside him and fainted on the competition field. One after another, they were eliminated in front of Davis, crushing Davis' last fluke. In the end, only Davis was left kneeling on the ground on the entire competition field. Dongtang did not make a move, and directly passed Davis and left, as if he could not see him at all. Come back. Davis stood up with a roar, squeezed his last bit of soul power, and punched Dongtang. Dongtang dodged casually, and Davis couldn't bear the force and fell to the ground. He wanted to get up, but this was his last flash of life. Dimension Academy wins. Xingluo Royal Academy is eliminated. The Templar Knights of the Spirit Hall were as indifferent as ever, determined to be a cold-blooded machine that only announced the results. Tisk tisk tisk. Yuhan is too cruel. It's simply killing people. Ma Hongjin shuddered all over. Oscar was also in shock. It's really too cruel. If I were treated like this, I might give up being a spirit master. First break Davis' most confident spirit fusion skill, turn around and leave, leaving only 3 people, and eliminate them one by one in front of Davis, but leave Davis, who has no spirit power, and doesn't move at all. In the end, he exhausted his strength. Sure enough, Yuhan still has a firm grasp on the aspect of attacking people. Ningrongrong sighed. It was also the first time for other colleges to see such a Dimension Academy. Thinking about the previous games, no matter what, the Dimension Academy would play seriously and give them enough respect and opportunities to perform. I didn't expect Yuhan and his team to be so cruel. Yu Shai and Hang swallowed his saliva. As a seeded player, Davis must be strong. But the loss was tragic, and this tragedy was not reflected in the body. To be honest, in the entire Xingluo Royal Academy, except for those who were not unconscious and suffered minor injuries, there was no skin injury at all. The biggest damage came from the mind. Yuhan might, no, it should be absolutely that he would become an insurmountable shadow for Davis in the future. Yu Shai and Hang knew the talents of Yuhan and others very well. If you lose before they grow up, you will never have a chance to win in this life. Davis's ceiling may be a title Douluo, but you can never compete with a group of people whose ceiling may be gods. In the end, you can only bring shame upon yourself. Chapter 98, Charm. The progress of the game did not stop because of one game, and it was still in full swing. It took less than half an hour for Xingluo Royal Academy to go from being one of the 3 seeded players at the beginning to becoming the topic of gossip among the people. Fortunately, there were no outside spectators in the game of Wuhan Hall, otherwise Davis would not only lose his own face, but also the face of Xingluo Empire. This may be the only consolation. Davis also left directly after his team members woke up, and no one knew that he left quietly. Compared with the disastrous defeat of Xingluo Royal Academy, the battle between Xiandao Royal Academy and Shrek Academy was really a back-and-forth battle. The two sides had fought each other and knew each other's strength very well, so they were naturally prepared and the battle was difficult to resolve for a while. However, because of the existence of Yu Xianheng and Du Yuyan, the situation was once biased towards Xiandao Royal Academy, but Shrek Academy always brought people a lot of miracles. Relying on Tang San's strange strength and the cooperation of Shrek Academy, the situation was reversed and finally won. At this point, Xiandao Royal Academy was also eliminated, but Yu Xianheng was not depressed at all. After all, this time he was really inferior to others. The next match was between the Spirit Hall and the Four Elements Academy, which was what everyone was most concerned about. The Spirit Hall had been bragging about how strong their golden generation was. Who could know before the fight? The two sides stood still. The Spirit Hall's formation was very simple. Ziyu was alone in front of the battle, with Yan and Hulina on both sides, and other team members standing behind them, with a terrifying momentum. In this situation, the Four Elements Academy naturally felt like they were facing a great enemy, and looked at the Spirit Hall's golden generation seriously. How to fight? Yan asked casually. Speed. Ziyu still spoke very indifferently, and the other team members nodded to show that they understood. The Spirit Hall versus the Four Elements Academy officially begins. With the order of the Knights Templar, Hulina and Ziyu's spirits began to merge, and Yan took a step forward, carrying the amplification of the team members behind him. Not good. Spirit fusion skills, stop them. Feng Zai Ocean immediately discovered something was wrong and shouted loudly. First soul skill, freeze. Shui Binger was just about to use her soul skill when a red light suddenly appeared under her feet. Seeing this, Shui Binger had to leave the spot. Wouldn't it be better to watch quietly? After all, martial soul fusion skills are rare, aren't they? Yan laughed grimly, and the hot breath on his body continued to spread. Missing the opportunity to interrupt at the first time, Ziyu and Hulina's martial soul fusion skills had been completed, and the huge red curtain suddenly exploded, covering most of the competition venue. For a while, people from other colleges could not see the situation in the red curtain, but Jihan and others with purple magic pupils were still not panicking. Lei Tian, let's rush out and cover me to perform the 36 consecutive slashes of the Swift Wind Demon Wolf. Feng Zai Ocean made a prompt decision and rushed out of the red curtain with Lei Tian. At this moment, the demon formed by the fusion of the two martial souls in the red curtain held a semicircular sharp blade in each hand, and the mask on his face did not show any joy. The people who stayed in the red curtain stood back to back, nervously observing the situation around them. A sound of breaking through the air suddenly sounded, and everyone only saw a flash of red light, and Lei Dong was already seriously injured and fell to the ground. Seeing this, the pupils of the people in the red curtain shrank. They didn't even see anyone, and Lei Dong was already seriously injured. This is not a good thing. Yu Xiangxin and the others have already lost. Yuhan said calmly. On the other side, Yu Xianheng, who was eliminated early, did not leave at all, but ran to the Dimension Academy to cheat for food and drink, commonly known as refusing to leave, under the beautiful name, I will wait for you to leave together. Yu Xianheng was naturally very curious when he saw the situation of the red curtain. What's going on? Yuhan, please report it in real time. Yuhan rolled his eyes helplessly. Yu Xiangxin couldn't detect Hulina and Ziyu in the red curtain, so they can only wait to be sniped one by one. As for Feng Zai Ocean, although it seems that no one disturbed him to accumulate power. But who should he attack? Yan or the demon in the red curtain? Even if one of them is eliminated, he still loses. Yihan's words also reflected Feng Zai Ocean's hesitation at this moment. The three people headed by the Spirit Hall must be the ones who decide the outcome, but at this moment he really doesn't know who to attack. Attacking Yan, he has three other teammates behind him. Attacking the demon in the red curtain, he can't even find anyone, so how can he attack? As the accumulation of power is about to be completed, Feng Zai Ocean also becomes anxious. Crack! A violent lightning flashed in the red curtain. Oh. It's Yu Xiangxin's cousin. I said that as a member of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, how could he be completely powerless to fight back? Yu Xianheng shouted excitedly. Seeing this, Yuhan really didn't want to attack him. In the original book, Xiandao Royal Academy was killed by the Spirit Hall in seconds. Isn't he from the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family? It's not like there's a splash. As Feng Zia Ocean hesitated, the red curtain above the competition field slowly disappeared. For a moment, everyone looked at the field nervously. As the red curtain completely disappeared, Lei Tian and Feng Zia Ocean in the sky were a little incredible. Yu Xiangxin and others had an obvious knife wound on their chests. Although it was not fatal, the injury was definitely not light. The two people who released the spirit fusion technique and Yan did not hesitate to attack Feng Zia Ocean in the sky. Faced with such an offensive, even the 36 consecutive slashes of the Gale Demon Wolf could not reverse the situation. Yu Xianheng, who was very excited just now, opened his mouth and looked at Yuhan in disbelief. Then he looked at Yu Xiangxin in the field and didn't know what to say for a while. Let's go. The overall situation is decided. Yuhan turned around and left calmly. Yu Xianheng was a little worried about Yu Xiangxin, so he ran to the Four Elements Academy to see what was going on. The group returned to their own rooms, and Yuhan said without hesitation, "How do you feel after seeing the strength of the Spirit Hall?" Very strong. Hanzhou Feng's evaluation was still very pertinent. Their spirit fusion technique is not considered an energy body, and Xiao Feng's evil food should not be able to absorb it. This is very troublesome. Although we have the purple demon eyes and will not be affected by the red curtain, the speed and attack power of that demon should not be underestimated. Yi analyzed rationally. Yuhan smiled faintly and said, "I already have a way. Remember the Dark Fog City?" Everyone knew Yuhan's plan after hearing this. Since the matter was resolved, there was no need to entangle. Soon the final rules of the competition were completely settled. The three colleges will have a round-robin team battle. As long as they can win 2 games, they will directly enter the finals. The remaining 2 will enter the loser group and fight again. The winner will enter the finals, and the order will be decided by drawing lots. This competition system has a very obvious loophole. The college that goes on the field first will definitely suffer the most. It's a very simple truth. If Dimension Academy goes first, it will face Shrek Academy and Spirit Hall. If it fights Shrek Academy first and then Spirit Hall, Shrek Academy is helping Spirit Hall consume its opponent. When Yuhan saw this competition system, he knew there must be something fishy going on. Let's make a bet. Tomorrow we will definitely be the first to go on stage. Shrek Academy will play against us first, and Spirit Hall will play last. Do you believe it? Yuhan asked with a smile. Leah frowned slightly. Isn't this blatant cheating? After all, it's someone else's territory. Isn't it right to have some benefits? And Shrek Academy is not stupid. Yuhan didn't care about it, but was disgusted. In the afternoon, the 3 academies were arranged to draw lots. Sure enough, according to what Yuhan said, Dimension Academy went on stage first, Shrek Academy went on stage second, and Spirit Hall went on stage third. Damn. Is the Spirit Hall so lucky? Ma Hongjin said a little unhappy. The master smiled slightly. You think this is luck? It's just the use of power. Teacher, what do you think we should do? Tang San also understood the master's meaning, but now is not the time to dwell on this issue. We can't beat both the Dimension Academy and the Spirit Hall. At this time, we should give up the first game and compete with the Spirit Hall for the finals. The master still saw clearly that as long as he gave up, although he lost a game first, the Dimension Academy and the Spirit Hall were not the academies that would give up, and the 2 academies would have a battle. As for the Dimension Academy, the master still couldn't see through it, so the master decided to take a gamble and give the Dimension Academy a game. As long as the Dimension Academy defeated the Spirit Hall, then Shrek Academy would be the team that benefited, and they just needed to work hard to prepare for a game. The master's words were also recognized by others, and they nodded in agreement. Chapter 99 The Most Familiar Way. As the draw was over, a bunch of people appeared in Yuan's yard. You all lost, why don't you go home? Aren't Xianxia City, Chihiro City and so on far away from Wuhan City? Yuhan looked at the crowd in front of him and asked speechlessly. Brother Yi, we have absolute confidence in your Dimension Academy, so we are going to stay and watch you beat up the people from the Spirit Hall. Feng Zia Ocean showed a wretched smile. Yihan waved his hand in disdain. The spirit hall stipulated that the losing team could no longer enter the competition venue, but Yu and Hang took a different approach and temporarily joined the Dimension Academy with the Xiandao Royal Academy. Just like that, the spirit hall couldn't say anything. Now that Yu and Hang had a precedent, the Four Elements Academy naturally came over. As for why they didn't go to Shrek Academy, isn't it obvious that the strength of the Dimension Academy is greater than that of Shrek Academy? If you want to stay, I won't stop you. Go back to sleep. We still have a game tomorrow. Yihan said speechlessly. Seeing that Yihan had agreed, Ho Wuxian took out a tent and started to build it in the yard, which made Yihan and others stunned. No, what do you mean? Yihan asked in confusion. Feng Xiaoshan said embarrassedly, oh. Wuhan City is very expensive. The place we lived in before was for free because of the competition. Now it has been taken back. We are not Yu Xianhen. We have the Xiandao royal family and the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family behind us. We can't afford to stay here by ourselves. We will stay here for 2 nights. By then, the competition will be over. Faced with such a shameless Feng Xiaoshan, Yihan looked at Yu Xiangxin on the side in silence. Yu Xiangxin's face was slightly red, and she wanted to find a crack in the ground to crawl into. He has money, he has money, he has money. Important things should be said 3 times. As one of the twin stars of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, how could you be short of money? When Feng Xiaoshan and Ho Wuxian proposed this at the beginning, Shui Binger and Yu Xiangxin refused. It was really too embarrassing. However, Shui Binger was taken care of by Ho Wu, so Feng Xiaoshan said that since they were temporarily in the Four Elements Academy, they had to share the joys and sorrows. Of course, this reason could not convince Yu Xiangxin. Yu Xiangxin directly said that he could invite them to stay in the hotel, but Feng Xiaoshan was afraid that Yihan and others would go to the competition venue in the morning without taking them, so what was the best way? Just stay by Yihan's side, and leave when they leave. Didn't you see that Yu and Hang came early every morning? Isn't it because he was afraid that Yihan would leave early and he couldn't get in? Yu Xiangxin said that he could barely accept this reason, and finally reluctantly agreed to the conditions of the two. Yihan looked at Yu Xiangxin, who was silent, and sighed helplessly. I feel that you are sent by the spirit hall to torture us. Girls, go to the guest room over there and squeeze in to sleep. As for you shameless people, it's better not to make any noise when you sleep at night, otherwise I will let you sleep on the street directly. There are only 8 people in the entire Dimension Academy, and the accommodation arranged by the spirit hall is still very large. There are several vacant rooms, which can be squeezed for a few girls. As for the remaining few people, it was good enough that they were not allowed to sleep on the street. Shui Binger and the other girls thanked them with a little surprise. Feng Xiaoshan also smiled when he saw this. How can it be torture? We will definitely not make any noise, and we will cheer for you tomorrow. Forget it. Go to sleep. Yihan closed the door unhappily and ignored the few people outside. The next day, Feng Xiaoshan entered the competition venue as he wished. Because the number of people increased, the lounge of the Dimension Academy seemed a bit crowded, and the spirit hall was not a stingy person. Knowing that he could not stop it, he simply arranged a place for Yu and Heng and others to watch the game. The first game. Dimension Academy, against Shrek Academy. The Knights Templar had just announced it, and the master walked up steadily and stretched out his hand. We give up this game. Everyone looked at Shrek Academy with a little surprise, but soon some smart people reacted and understood Shrek Academy's plan. Xiaogang. You are still so calculating. Bibi Dong looked at Yu Xiaogang with a cold face. The Templar Knight looked at Bibi Dong, who nodded. After all, this was within the rules, and anyone could do it. It just depends on whether you dare to gamble and whether you can think of it. The first game is won by the Dimension Academy. Now one win. The next game is between the Dimension Academy and the Spirit Hall. The two sides came on the field and looked at each other from a distance. The Spirit Hall's formation remained unchanged, and the Dimension Academy also had a familiar formation. Seeing that the two sides were already on the verge of a fight, the audience outside the field held their breath and watched the game carefully. Open the spirit. As Ziyu spoke, everyone in the Spirit Hall showed their spirits. The leading Ziyu, Hulina, and Yen all had 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 1 black, and were 5 ringed soul kings. The rest were also 2 yellow and 2 purple soul lords, and their strength was close to that of soul kings, and they must be level 49 soul lords. Everyone took a breath of cold air. They knew that the spirit hall was very powerful, but they really didn't expect it to be so shocking. Looking at the overwhelming momentum, Yihan saw that this was to give him a show of strength before the game officially started. Yihan would never tolerate such a thing, and slowly said, "Since they want to see, let them see." The spirit rings on Yihan's body appeared one by one. All of them were 4-ring spirit rings, but what made everyone unbelievable was that all 7 of them had 2 yellow, 1 purple, and 1 black. You should know that Tang San's 4th spirit ring was 10,000 years old, which caused quite a stir. At this moment, Yihan and others directly suppressed the momentum of the spirit. Seeing that the momentum of the 2 teams reached its peak, the Templar Knight waved his hand. The game begins. Soul Fusion Technique. Ziyu and Hulina were about to fuse. This was the result of the discussion last night. Their spirit fusion technique was different from that of the Nether White Tiger. Even if it was cracked, it would not consume a lot of spirit power. It was worth a try. However, Dongtang on Yihan's side put his hands together. Pa. Dongtang's position was changed with Hulina. Yihan attacked Hulina without hesitation, and Dongtang also attacked Ziyu. However, the spirit hall obviously had intelligence. Faced with such a situation, they blocked the attack one after another. The soul power of Yan exploded, and a huge red light appeared on the ground, and a stream of magma shot up into the sky. Since Hulina and Ziyu completed the martial soul fusion technique at such a distance, Yihan's original plan was to separate the 2 so that they could not use the martial soul fusion technique. However, this method is obviously not feasible now, and the red curtain once again covered most of the stadium. Tisk. It really doesn't work. Yihan and others opened the purple magic pupil and looked at the demon in the red curtain. Everyone outside the stadium was very anxious, especially Yu Xiangxin and others who had tried this martial soul fusion technique. Is it going to lose? I still believe in Yihan and his strength. Sniper plan. Start. Yihan showed a meaningful smile to the position of the demon, and the 3rd soul skill on his body lit up. 3rd soul skill, True Name Liberation, Dark Fog City. 1st soul skill, Soul Eating City. The demon, who was watched by Yihan, trembled in his heart, and couldn't help thinking, could Yihan see them? Just when he was about to attack, a black fog flashed by, and then a huge fog enveloped the whole stadium. The huge white fog even blocked the red curtain. The people outside the field were confused. Only Tang San could barely see it with his purple demon eye. Yao Mei and Yan in the competition field were also confused. Because the fog covered the whole field, they could not see anything. And they didn't know why their soul power kept disappearing, and a sense of fatigue kept increasing. Ah! A scream came from behind Yan. Turning around, he saw a knife wound on the chest of a team member. Such a familiar method made Yan tremble. Isn't this method exactly the same as Ziyu and the others' martial soul fusion skills? Damn it! The 2nd soul skill, Granite Rock. The 3rd soul skill, Hell Flames. Helplessly, Yan could only consume soul power and fill the surroundings with magma, ready to riot at any time. At this moment, Yao Mei naturally discovered this situation. After all, it was a martial soul fusion skill. In this state, he could still feel a trace of breath. Be careful behind you. Yao Mei turned around and tried to rescue her teammates, but the next moment a chill froze them directly, and then it was broken in just a moment, but she also lost a chance to rescue them. Yan's reaction was not timely, and another teammate was seriously injured. After all, Yi's speed was originally fast, and the effect of the fog made it even more terrifying. Sister, the soul power consumption here is not right. Let's cancel the fusion skill first and join Yan. Ziyu made a prompt decision and cancelled the martial soul fusion skill. The 2 of them also quickly came to Yan's side, and the atmosphere suddenly became very strange. Pa. In the case of being unable to see, hearing is definitely the most important thing, but at this moment, Dongtang has exchanged positions with another person from the Wuhan Hall. 2 screams rang out, and when Ziyu reacted, he only saw Dongtang disappear in the white fog. Damn it! Don't go! Yan roared and was about to rush out, but was stopped by Ziyu. Calm down, if you run out now, you will only be defeated one by one. Hearing Ziyu's words, Yan also calmed down and confidently observed the clues around him. Chapter 100 Weapon Spirit Shrubati. On the scene, only 3 people from the Golden Generation were left in the Spirit Hall, while no one from the Dimension Academy was eliminated. The fog obscured vision, sustained damage, and coupled with Yoruichi's speed, Tao Tao's unjust game, and Kurumi's Soul Eater City, it can be said that the Spirit Hall's hope of winning was basically zero. However, due to the fog, the situation inside was not clear to the spectators. Really? Why did Jihan create such a big fog for no reason? Now I can't see anything, and I don't know what the battle situation is like. Yu Xianheng scratched his head in annoyance. The other people also stared at the fog very nervously, as if they wanted to see the situation inside through the fog. In the fog, Ziyu and the other two looked around vigilantly, and it can be said that they were afraid of enemies everywhere. As long as there was a little sound, they would react quickly. The game should be over. Yuhan didn't plan to waste any more time. Pop! The crisp sound rang again, and the three people's hearts trembled instantly. The next moment Yan disappeared from the spot, and Tao Dao appeared in Yan's position. With vigilance, Ziyu and Hulina attacked Dong Tang without hesitation. The fourth soul skill, Ghost Way, one of the ways of binding, blocking. Yi's voice suddenly sounded. A force made the two people who were about to attack put their hands behind their backs, and they were about to fall to the ground if they lost their balance. Dong Tang, in line with the people-oriented concept, knocked them out with one punch. On the other side, Yan, who was replaced, looked at the five people around him, swallowed his saliva, and wanted to take action, but Yan could feel that he would be beaten if he dared to move. Ahem. That, I surrender. Yan smiled awkwardly. Yuhan was slightly surprised. In the original book, this Yan was just like a reckless man, but he didn't expect that he also had a side of being a hero who knew the times. Sorry, your hairstyle is too killer. It's not good for you to be awake. Yuhan said without giving Yan a chance to explain, and knocked him out with a stick. As the last person from the Wuhan Hall fainted, Tang San released the first soul skill, and the fog began to slowly dissipate. The fog is dissipating. The fog is dissipating. How is the situation? Feng Xiaoshan keenly felt the disappearance of the fog and said excitedly. Everyone was concentrating on watching the game. As the fog dissipated, Yuhan and the others walked downstairs, talking and laughing. The people from the spirit hall fell to the ground, and four of them had a hideous wound on their chests. The other three people, Hulina, had no obvious scars, but they were also unconscious. In comparison, Yuhan and the others were not injured at all, and the people in the entire academy seemed very relaxed. Oh! We won! Yu Xianheng shouted excitedly. There were violent cheers from the Four Elements Academy and the Xiandao Royal Academy. Yu Xianheng thought that Yuhan would win, but he didn't expect to win so easily. The master was also relieved in his heart. He was betting from the beginning that the Dimension Academy could beat the Spirit Hall, so that Shrek Academy would give the Dimension Academy a game and directly lift the Dimension Academy into the winner group. The Spirit Hall, which had a big battle with the Dimension Academy, would face the Shrek Academy, which had no consumption at all, and now everyone in the Spirit Hall was seriously injured. Even if the Spirit Hall's healing soul master cured them, such a short rest time would not have no effect at all, so Shrek Academy's chance of winning would be even greater. Compared with the crazy cheering here, the Spirit Hall's people looked extremely ugly. The golden generation that was highly expected was defeated so easily. Does this mean that the 3 pieces of 10,000-year soul bones that the Spirit Hall took out will be given to the Dimension Academy for nothing? Although they were very disappointed with the performance of Hulina and others, the Spirit Hall still dutifully arranged people to treat and recover them. Soon, Hulina and the other two who were slightly injured had basically recovered, except for the consumption of soul power. However, the person who was chopped by Yi, although Yi stopped, was a Zanpakuto after all, and it was not just a simple surface injury. It took time to slowly recover. Fortunately, the Spirit Hall was a big family, and it was too easy to find 4 more substitutes, but they might not be as strong as the ones selected before. However, the Spirit Hall did not rely on these 4 extras to output, and the people who really controlled the overall situation were still Hulina and the other 2. According to the rules, after an hour's break, Spirit Hall will play against Shrek Academy. This match can be said to determine who will enter the finals, but the Spirit Hall's condition is obviously not as good as Shrek Academy. In an hour, Hulina and the other 2 have recovered most of their spirit power, but it is definitely not at its peak. After all, the rules are made by Spirit Hall, so now they can only swallow their anger. The next match is Shrek Academy vs. Spirit Hall. Both sides get ready. The Spirit Hall's formation is the same as always, But Shrek Academy's formation is very strange. Tang San is the first in the line, and Dai Mubei and others behind him stand behind each other one by one, standing in a row. Although everyone's spirit power fluctuates, no spirit appears. What is Shrek Academy doing? Yu Xiangxin was a little confused. He had never seen such a situation before. I don't know. Yu Xianheng said, turning around and looking at Yihan with a smile. Yihan, take a look, what do Tang San and the others mean? As someone who is familiar with the plot, Yihan recognized what this move was at the first time. Originally, this move was reserved for Feng Zia Ocean, Ho Wu and others, but it was unexpected that this time it was taken by the Spirit Hall. 7-in-1 fusion technique. Yihan's words were like throwing a stone on the calm lake. This skill was also used by Kanghu Academy at the beginning, but it seemed that it did not succeed and turned into idiots. Tang San, they will not become idiots too? Feng Zia Ocean asked carefully. Yihan was a little speechless, but he did not say it out loud. It shouldn't be. Ziyu in the field felt the opponent's soul power fluctuations, but nothing happened. Yan, when the game starts, according to the original plan, Nana and I will fuse our spirits. You prevent anyone from approaching. Start the game. As the Templar Knights of the Spirit Hall finished speaking, the soul power of Tang San and others began to merge, and a large amount of soul power continued to fluctuate. The Spirit Hall also began to perform the spirit fusion technique. For a while, no one attacked, and the game fell into a strange balance. This time, Tang San did not use the blue-silver grass, but took out the clear sky hammer. A large amount of soul power gathered on Tang San, and the soul power continued to grow stronger. A golden light enveloped Tang San and the clear sky hammer. This is the weapon's spirit true body. Bibi Dong looked at Tang San in horror. You must know that whether it is a beast spirit or a weapon spirit, in order to open the spirit true body, you must be a level 70 spirit saint, but at this moment Tang San seems to have broken this rule. The clear sky hammer is the world's #1 weapon spirit, and the power of the spirit true body is even more impressive. Although Tang San is a little immature at this moment, the condensed clear sky hammer is also quite powerful. The spirit fusion technique on the Spirit Hall side was also successful, and the red curtain appeared again. The huge red curtain could not cover the entire weapon spirit true body clear sky hammer. Fall. With Tang San's order, the clear sky hammer smashed towards the Wuhan Hall. The demon didn't care about anything else and quickly approached the clear sky hammer. However, just after the contact, Hulina and Ziyu's Wuhan fusion skills were forced, and the two were forced to separate and fly backwards. Nana. Yan rushed over quickly and caught Hulina. Tang San's clear sky hammer would not stop there. Bibi Dong gave a look to Zhu Daoluo on the side, and the latter quickly disappeared and appeared on the ring, blocking Tang San's weapon Wuhan true body. This game, Shrek Academy wins. Yu Guan's gentle voice sounded slowly, and the person left directly. The people of the Wuhan Hall sat on the ground and panted as if they had survived a disaster. Tang San's side was not much better, because the first time he used this skill, the consumption was also very huge. Oh my! Strong! Feng Zia Ocean shouted in shock. It's not that everyone has never thought that Shrek Academy can win the Wuhan Hall, but it can only be said that the probability is very low. Unexpectedly, Tang San and others directly used the 7-in-1 fusion skill. After all, it is on the shelves, so I wrote 2 more pictures and posted them. I would like to thank everyone for their support again. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.